Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday. It is time for the Dutch Grand Prix here in Zandvoort. And of course, I think is this the first time ever in Cobalt that we're racing in Zandvoort? I believe it is, isn't it now? So, yes, our first ever Grand Prix here in Zandvoort in the Dutch Grand Prix. And wow, what a couple of days we've had in ALR. It's been a celebration of motorsport, hasn't it, the past 3 days in gold, silver, bronze. And now it is time for another fiesta. It is time for Cobalt's Dutch Grand Prix. And of course, whilst we're just getting into it, it is 14 turns around this 2.6 mile circuit. It is not the longest circuit in Formula One, is it? Not by a long shot there. It is quite a tricky little circuit, is what it is, and it's not a lot of overtaking opportunities. Maybe the big one is down into turn 1, and of course, maybe also down into turn 11 and 12, or even before actually. Turn 10, we've seen a couple of overtakes as well, haven't we? As well. So, yeah, there was some places to overtake. I said there was no overtaking at all. Difficult overtaking. Goodness me. I just read off a couple of turns out. Goodness me. Right then, we got a driver transfer, which I need to inform you of, and that is Craig R, who's making his full-time bow with the Mercedes team. Good stuff indeed there for Craig R. Of course, he said this is going to be his fourth appearance now in Alr Cobalt, and he's done a very good job, I think. But unfortunately, you have to say goodbye to Buckass for now because of work commitments, unfortunately. And we've never seen the best of Buckass, I don't think, unfortunately. He's in his 6 starts. He only seen the checker flag once, unfortunately, as he was very unlucky, wasn't he, Buckass was? But hopefully it is just it's not a farewell, it's just a goodbye for now, isn't there, for Buckass? So hopefully we'll see him back in the not too distant future. I've got me fingers crossed that we will see Buckass back, because yes, I've really enjoyed watching him fight that Mercedes since he joined in. But of course, I've also enjoyed seeing Craig R fight as well, and that means that Craig R comes straight into the championship, and he's now in 15th for the World Championship, then joint on points with Picasso in the Williams car. Well, at the moment there, we haven't got many drivers coming out of the garage just yet, have we? I say that, we've got 2 coming out right now, but so they are just cruising it down at the cruising down the pit lane now. So so at the moment we've got Hammer Tom leading the World Championship. He's 35 points in front of Starbust in second position. J-Dog in third. Dukanko is in fourth position there. Fifth position is Cassel. Of course, Cassel had a unfortunately Cassel not here tonight, nor is the other Alfa Romeo of Brooksy. We have got R9 in sixth position with Paris 7th, Smithy 8th, Booty Delight in 9th, and Brooksy completes the top 10 then. Of course, then 11th position is Gino 12th, ZGSF. Great performances the last couple of races for ZGS, fantastic. Scuba Stew 13th, Picasso 14th, and then it is Craig R in 15th, 16th position is Sir Dave with Vinny 17th, Kaz 18th, Styles 19th, and Liam D in 20th position there. In the constructors standards, Alpha Tauri lead by 55 points from the Haas team in second position. Aston Martin are third with fourth position. Alfa Romeo. It's quite close between the Aston Martin and the Haas team. 1 point separates those 2 cars. 28 points separates the Aston Martin and the Alfa Romeo. And then 22 points further back from the Alfa Romeo is the Ferrari team. Williams are only 7 points away from the Ferrari. McLaren are in 8th position. They are 13 points adrift. Alpine are in 8th as well. 9th is the Mercedes. 10th is the Red Bull. I feel I've got 2 8s there, but never mind. But we'll just ignore that for the time being, shall we? Jenner starting this lap, then we've also got the championship leader, Hammer Tom, as well. He started from 20th on the grid to win last time, didn't he? Very impressive performance indeed there last time out for Hammer Tom. So is he getting it's a much more difficult place to overtake. So Hammer Time, who got disqualified in qualifying, starts out of qualifying at the early going already. Hammer Time got disqualified from qualifying for parking in a dangerous location in Spa, and he had to start it from the back of the grid, but he's flown through the field. Fantastic performance there for Hammer Time. He took the fast lap as well as the Grand Prix, and that was his 5th Grand Prix win in his 8th Grand Prix start this season. That's his 6th Grand Prix win of his career for Hammer Time. He's really impressed this season. That's the Hammer Time has yellow flag. His Ginner has had submissions just behind Hammer Time. Hammer Time's not going to be too concerned there because he's in front of that yellow flag zone at the moment then. Just taking a look at the comments. Senna saying, I'm going to crash. Mark my words, like goodness me. I got to say, starting off negatively there, Senna. I remember that Senna stormed to pole position in the last qualified session in Cobalt. So I'm expecting big things from Senna. Got 11.5 for hammer time then to set us on our journey. Unfortunately, Jinner has come a cropper somewhere, and he's going to have another bite of the cherry. So here's Senna then, and I sound, I got to say, I sound, every time I say Senna's name, it does give me a bit of a tingle on the old spine there. Goodness me, of course, Senna is synonymous with Formula 1, isn't he? Of course, that name, Ayrton Senna, of course, maybe one of the best drivers to ever grace a Formula 1 grid then. Senna goes just over a tenth of a second away from hammer time in second fastest. Star Bus is gone 3 seconds, 3 tenths of a second quicker than hammer time. Remember, this is qualifying one, of course. So this is only the start of our journey here tonight in ALR. We will have the qualifying 1, 2, and 3. We'll be losing 5 drivers in the first section, 5 drivers in the second session, and then the final session is about the top 10 shootout. Sir Dave going 5th fastest, 2 seconds away from Senna at the moment. The top 4 have really come out all firing on all cylinders, haven't they? Good 17. Dukanko going 5th fastest. He's 4th in the World Championship. Dukanko is there. I think that Dukanko might be a bit disappointed at the end, a bit higher up in the championship, but still, it's been a strong start, and he can still do a lot for now. This is oh dear, but Paris has had a bit of a has had a problem somewhere, and he has damaged his wing there, completely damaged it so badly. I'm going to come back in the pits and change the ode nose section there. So that's a shame now for Paris. And he has enough time now. The Williams mechanics will just put on a new spare nose cone now for the Williams car, and then he'll be back out then. So hopefully no further damage there. Of course, there's a new damage model on the on Formula 1 20 on Formula 1 2021. Then of course it's usually with the rear back crash structure, isn't it? Where if you go into the if you backed into the barrier, you will damage the rear end plate, you will damage the side pods as well, and it almost becomes undrivable. It's what I heard from some of the drivers earlier on this season, and I know a lot of drivers have really adapted to that, because a lot of the time you will be involved in some kind of incidents there. There's some kind of instance in league racing, because it's a foregone conclusion almost, isn't it? And also we have a lot of safety cars. Right, I think that we've had a carbon copy in the first 3 races this week. We've had a carbon copy where there's been a safety car in the last 10 laps, 2 safety cars in the last 10 laps. And hopefully we won't get that tonight then. Because usually on the 4th day I start to really lose my voice, and I don't want to get too excited again. We've got Paige who's gone at 7 fastest, and Paige Baguette in the Alfa Romeo, then replacing Brooksy for tonight then. So Paige very much going to be in the Alfa Romeo, so she's in good company tonight then. We got Kaz, who is just come through the signature corner. This one is of Zandvoort. It's the banked turn 14 in the Ferrari. Out of the final turn then for Kaz, and he comes across the line, and Kaz goes into 9th fastest in front of Sir Dave, but is a 9/10 of a second away from Baguette at the moment. Winnie there in the middle section there. We got Craig R making his debut in the Mercedes side. We've also got Scuba Stew gracing us with his presence in the McLaren as well. So here's Craig R, and this is his first full-time race for the Mercedes, and he drove the Mercedes last week, didn't he? And Mercedes must have been so, oh dear. Unfortunately, Scuba Stew has put it into the wall. It turned free, and he is out of qualifying. That is a big blow for Scuba Stew, so he's going to be starting right at the back of the field in this one, and that is a major blow indeed then. Craig has gone 9th fast, and of course he drove for the Mercedes last time out, didn't he? And Mercedes was so impressed with his performance in Belgium that he has come back for more, hasn't he? Of course Craig finished a 9th position in that race, didn't he? So good stuff indeed there for Craig Arden. And of course that he also, before that, he was on the podium as well, wasn't he, in the Canadian Grand Prix. So this man has got some talent under his left foot there. Winnie there has just gone up 12th fastest in the Red Bull. Picasso out on circuit. Paris is also going for a lap as well, but we're going to stick with his teammate Picasso for now. Picasso, he has the speed, does he? But it just seems, I think the trouble seems to find Picasso, doesn't it? So hopefully Picasso can have a clean pair of heels tonight and get to the finish, trying to get some points on the board there, because 17 points this season for Picasso. I can't believe he's only got 17 points there, because he should have a damn sight more than 17 points in my humble opinion, and he's only finished in the points there 4 times, which I find absolutely astounding there for the man who's really quick in this Williams car, isn't he? And I thought that him and Williams would be suited down to the ground, and they are, but there just seems to, as I said, there just seems to trouble seems to find Picasso. Hopefully though he can put that bad luck to one side there and get himself back high up in the championship as well. It's not all done and dusted in the World Championship, is it? There, Hammer Tom is starting to pull away though, as they were in round 11 out of a 20-round season. It's the longest season in Cobalt history, of course, as this was the final leg last time out in season 1, wasn't there? We only had 11 races for Cobalt. This time we got a full season, so he's going to be a step into the unknown as well. Paris goes 6th fastest in the Williams car, a couple of just over a half a second in front of his team. And then silent shifting there is the latest entry in the AlphaTauri. He is in the Yuki Tsunoda car, as hopefully he's got a helmet on. He has indeed there. And then silent shifting there, of course, silent shifting had a great performance last time out as he drove to a solid I think he was third, wasn't he? And then some good stuff indeed then. Let me quickly catch up with the comments, shall we? Silent shifting coming across the line now. It looks like he's on an outlap. Okay then. Well, while silent shifting's on an outlap then, and he's going to enjoy your. Hopefully, he's going to enjoy your. Going to elevate your viewing pleasure. Then as silent shifting going around turn 3. Goku saying he didn't know then. Positivity is the key for Senna. Well, Senna's put in a time of which is 7th fastest on the grid at the moment, so not too bad then. Kaz saying good luck everyone. It's been a while, and so Kaz back in action as well. Gordon saying hello, come on Ferrari. Even though from serious mushroom as well. No tongue twisters tonight, Sean. Protect that ulcer. Indeed. Then, having said that, it's gone right down today. So, and maybe all my Moan and Myrtle moments from last night is really put pay, hasn't it? Jinner's in the wall, and Jinner is out of qualifying, unfortunately, and that is not good at all. And oh my gosh, and Paris is facing the wrong way out of turn number 14 as well. That's a precarious corner, and oh dear, Jinner out of qualifying. That is not what we want to see, is it? And Jinner's car is just around it's right in the far line. I wonder if Paris has to take evasive action there and just make sure he doesn't hit the car. Silent shifting with the yellow flags out, and he just put pedal to the metal there, and he's 2nd fastest in the AlphaTauri then. Good stuff indeed there. Dave is in the wall as well. Dave is out of qualifying. They're dropping like flies here. Goodness me. And Sir Dave is also into the barrier in the perilous turn 7 hour just before turn 7. Oh my golly gosh, and Crusher T has just gone into 11th fastest there. But we have lost Scooby Stew. We have lost Sir Dave. We've lost Jinner. We have also lost Styles out of the qualifying session as well. My word then. And goodness me, I think we found our 4 drivers out of qualifying already. Winnie will need to improve his time if he wants to get through. But he hasn't got he's got a competitor up there. So here comes Iron Knight then out of the final turn as well. And then DRS then right on the million for the Haas driver. Of course, Iron Knight, the British Grand Prix winner. He goes fast as well. That's a very good time there from Iron Knight. My word. Wow, that's really blown me out of proportion. Fantastic stuff there from Iron Knight. Really good stuff he does. He just carries on as well. Katazen, who's at 9600 a second down in the first split time there in the Ferrari. Let me carry on with the comment saying good luck Cobalt there from Gunnar as well. George Morgan saying yo. We've also got Ming saying good luck from Ming. Good stuff indeed there. Swan Shank saying good luck Paige and Senna's out. Lovely stuff indeed. We have also got come on, Scooby Stew. What happened to you? This isn't the time for spinning. Come on, Scooby Stew. We have faith in you. About time you start winning there. Hashtag justice for Brookie. Brookie? Good speed. Sounds like Brookside. We've got for Brooksy then. Percy there is chanting. Then we've also got Evan saying hello. We've also got Paige saying a good evening as well. So lovely stuff indeed. Hello everyone. Hello one and all in one. No more perspiring. That's not good at all. Is I might have to go to the gym if I want to carry on this commentary malark, because I must say I'm absolutely tired this week. It's because ALR the first gold, silver and bronze has put on an absolute incredible show, haven't they? Really good stuff indeed, and I expect nothing less from the Cobalt drivers as well. Then perhaps I might have to go to bed earlier on Tuesday nights, and perhaps the ZGS is retired from the session and he's out of qualifying as well. So unfortunately ZGS is also out. So we have, oh no, and Winnie's into the wall. He has damaged the end plate there, and that is not good at all there for Winnie. He's got 5 minutes to get himself back on circuit. Now I think that Farf needs to have a word with Winnie, because he's got a default helmet there, and we all know what my feeling is on default helmets there. Of course, it's the most important part of your racing career, in my opinion, is of course, oh my gosh, there is Isa just completely absolutely obliterated the polystyrene board there. My word then, strike. You could say it's a Red Bull's eye then. Anyway, Winnie has come back into the pits now. So we've lost Jenner, we've lost Sir Dave, we've lost Styles, Scooby Stew, and ZJS as well. Go Craig there from Rusty, and of course Craig getting his first full-time seat tonight, so hats off to Craig. And of course he got podium as well, didn't he, last round as well. Silent Shifting saying a good evening or another quick entry to this race. No practice again, but yesterday was decent, so let's do this. I spun twice already in qualifying. As Paige saying, do not look at my helmet then. I'm going to have a look at Paige's helmet in a minute then, because if it is default, my goodness me, I'm going to flip me wig. Oh, Paige retired from the session now, so maybe not. I'll have to look at her helmet in the next session of qualifying 2, which of course is after qualifying 1. Of course, that's why it's called qualifying 2, but we have 3 parts of qualifying these days, not like the good old days where we used to have, well, when I first started watching F1, there used to be 2 qualifying sessions there, but those are very different to the ones we have today. They had 2 qualifying sessions there, qualifying, Friday qualifying and Saturday qualifying, both hours long then. And did they have 12 laps? I think they did, didn't they, for each session? I can't remember now. But that was the first, that was your qualifying style. Both hour long sessions, and then qualifying, and then of course 96 it was another qualifying. It was just 1 hour qualifying, and they was only allowed to use 4 sets of tires. They had to pick the soft, or the hard compound tire for both qualifying and the race there, and they only had an hour to do those 12 laps in as well, didn't they? So good stuff indeed. Really. So yeah, really. So that was the second edition of qualifying in my lifetime. The other qualifying session that I've also gone through was the one-shot qualifying, which personally I quite liked, because I like to watch the some of the drivers that didn't. Silent Shifting is off, and my goodness me, and that's another driver off the circuit. And I think I've just read something in the comments there, and I'm going to have a look in a minute. But where is he? He's gone right off there. My goodness me, then that must have been some velocity there. Silent Shifting is out of qualifying. He's down in 14th position there. We're not going to have many drivers left for this qualifying session there, as Crusher T then just exploring the outside perimeters of the track there. Crusher T is in at 12th position there in the Alpine car. Yeah, then we had that one-shot qualifying, didn't we? Then we had that awful aggregate qualifying as well, when they had qualifying on Friday, and then qualifying on Saturday, or qualifying on Saturday and qualifying on Sunday, which wasn't very good, was it? When they had the 2 times together, that wasn't great. They dropped after 7 races, didn't they? Because I think they went back to the one-shot qualifying in Nürburgring. Then they also had, I think they had another qualifying session, didn't they? Where they had one-shot qualifying, where you would qualify from where you finished the race before, but in reverse, and then you go out in the reverse time from that qualifying session on Saturday. If you're still with me, you're much better than I am, because I've just confused myself. It was quite a confusing qualifying system back in the day. And then they had the first of the version of this knockout, when they had qualifying 1, 2, and 3. Then of course it started off with 20 minutes, and then wasn't it 15 minutes for the final 2 sessions there? And for the final session, I think that you get credit back or something like that when you had certain fuel in the car. That is unfortunately over my head then, because I can't do maths. If anyone's watched ALR for a long time, you've also noticed that I've missed a few champions being crowned as well, because of my appalling maths as well, like Emerson in Singapore last season, or Glock back in season 1 as well, as I thought he wasn't going to be champion, but I was out by a long way. So unfortunately, as one of the drivers had to tell me that I think that Glock is champion now, so that was quite a horrific moment for me, almost as horrific as Crusher T's exit there. Oh my word, I thought that was going then. Oh my golly gosh. Serious Mushroom has asked who's placed their bets, who's next. If anyone betted Serious Mushroom, you would have got some dosh back as well. And of course, goodness me, then. But I think I read that afterwards, so unfortunately, I'm not going to get anything. Mark Smith with someone laughing emojis, then Senna with someone laughing emojis as well. Hammer Time saying it's a difficult track then. Paige saying it's all black in memory of Soen, and never changed it back then. Oh, that ain't too bad actually. That's quite cool. That is. I think. My word, that Crusher T, then I'm just having a glance and blow the back. My word, then. We're going to stay away from Crusher T for a minute, because I want to see what Winnie's doing. Winnie has found 3 tenths of a second in the second split time out of the final turn here from Winnie. Let's see what he can do as he comes across the line. And Crusher T, I think, is also out of. No, he isn't. He's all right. I just seen he retired from circuit, but he's on the circuit and be retired from the session now. But Winnie is through into qualifying 2. Great stuff indeed there for Winnie. And yes, he is now through into qualifying 2. But yeah, I think that as long as you've not got the default helmet, mean, that's all that matters to me, really, because at least you've tried in a minute as well. I wonder if I can if they can get my car fixed before quality 2. If I'm going to make it, if I'm going to make it in there. I'm Gunner, by the way. Haha. Hello, Gunner. Hope you're well then. Unfortunately, I don't think they're allowed because there's no spare cars in F1 anymore. Otherwise, potentially they might have done. And of course, over the years, I even remember, was it 97 where was it Damon Hill, Pedro Diniz had to borrow someone else their teammate's car, didn't they? Back in 97, because that Irish Yamaha was not behaving well at all in the 97 Australian Grand Prix, was it? Goodness me, it wasn't the most compliant car back in the day, was it? Of course, that was also the same car that Damon Hill took to second position in the 1997 Hungarian Grand Prix. One of the best races you'll ever see. If you ever have a sad life like me, I do like to go back and watch some races from yesteryear, and Hungary is definitely up there with one of my favourites of all time. I absolutely love Hungary. It was really good stuff indeed, and of course it was the day where the Bridgestone tyres really came alive. That was the first season the Bridgestone came as F1, wasn't it, as well? Anyway, enough about that. Let me quickly go through the drivers that are out qualifying. We've got a long list here. ZJS out qualifying, Scooby Stew, Styles out qualifying, and Sir Davis well. That is the back two rows, and that's row 10 and row 9. Row 8 is Kaza and Jenner as well, and we've also lost Silent Shifting in, so there's only 13 cars in qualifying 2. Goodness me, it's not going to be as a busy track, which is quite lucky because this track is quite short. It's only 2.4 miles for 2.4 miles long, isn't it? So it's a blessing in disguise, I suppose. We've also got Senator saying, is Hammer Time Dutch? I believe he is that. Shifting made a big shunt there. I dropped a gear too low and the car went under me. That was not ideal then. So Silent Shifting there, unfortunately out of qualifying and going off in. Oh my golly gosh, we got some rain on the horizon. Well, it's not on the horizon, it's here. We got intermediate times for qualifying too, and I was not expecting that. My word there, I haven't even packed any trouser or raincoat here. Goodness me. So looks like I'm staying in here for the rest of the afternoon. Then hopefully it's just a short, sharp shower, or I'm not going to be seeing daylight, which is nothing unusual, which is not too bad actually, being ginger and all that. But that is not. I'm wondering if any of the drivers. I didn't see anything in the comments there, but maybe. But again, I do say I like surprise then, and this is a surprise and a half for me. Is that Williams there is an unsafe relief there from Picasso. So that was very naughty from the Williams team there. And look at this, we've got DRS to table already then. So rain's afoot here in Zandvoort, and goodness me, this is now going to really test the drivers then against the elements, against Mother Nature. This track is difficult as it is, and so really this is going to be done. Oh, and Picasso's the first car to spin here. That is how greasy the surface is. They were struggling qualifying 1, and my goodness me, they're going to struggle even more so now in qualifying 2 as Picasso getting out of the way. Good awareness there from Picasso. I would have just steamed on there, but I struggled to look behind now, but there we go. And marked, and Jenner saying that everyone gets a free choice of tyres then, so it's going to make things interesting. Indeed it is. By the way, welcome to the channel, Mark, as well. I think that you may have commented before, but I might not have tweaked them, but yeah, welcome. Of course, I do have a short memory though. Goodness me, I'm like a goldfish there. I even look like a goldfish as well, but I think I wouldn't be called a goldfish, I'd be called a gingerfish. Kaz has asked, why aren't I in qualifying 2? I think it was because he was in 16th cars. Unfortunately, that classifies as one of the drivers being out of qualifying. Unfortunately, I think that's the reason why you weren't. If you still, I think you possibly should have just came out and set a time there. I'm not sure. Did Kaz set a time? If someone can help me, that'd be fantastic. There. Oh my gosh, there, and that's Hammer Time. Hammer Time is off the circuit now. Goodness me, then this is not a good start for Hammer Time's qualifying campaign here. Oh dear, as he's trying to get himself going. And remember what happened in Spa though? He got disqualified. He wants to keep that car rolling. He has done a good job there. And that Ferrari is just glancing below the wall. Then that's Senna who's had a glancing blow, and he's come back in the pits. I think he's damaged his car. There's the Haas of J-Dog. I think it is J-Dog. Hammer Time eventually gets going, but that is 2 laps. That's 2 laps. Unfortunately, there is going to have to go into. Oh, and Hammer Time is off again. The championship leader is in major peril here. Oh dear. Hammer Time then is going to have to spin the car back round, and away he goes. And so remember now, of course, Hammer Time does lead the championship by 35 points, and so it's not. Oh my goodness me! That car is bounced up and down over those curbs there. So of course, as I said, the Hammer Time cannot lose the World Championships. And that is the main headline for tonight, of course. But he can have a major dent in his championship campaign. We're over the halfway stage now in the in the World Championship. Then, of course, there's Mark. Yes, I'm Ginger 91. No, sorry, I'm Ginner 1991, and so I'm normally racing, so I'm not commenting. Aha. Oh yeah. So welcome to the stream, now, Ginner. Hopefully, it ain't too painful for you to listen to me. Then, of course, and hopefully, it ain't too painful that you're in the pits as well. But hopefully, we'll see you in the race as well. We will see Ginner in the race, in the race, and yes. So I'm looking forward to Ginner, and of course, all the Aston Martin and Ginner fans, and that is something that you cannot wait to see. I'm sure of it. It's going to be a cracker. It's going to be a cracking race as well for Ginner and the Aston Martin team. I have no doubt about it. Here comes J-Dog out of the final turn as well. No DRS now because it is wet weather conditions that is deemed unsafe. So J-Dog only goes third fastest. Yellow flag is when the Williams is just backing out. Smith Almighty has gone full fastest. Starburst, who is second in the World Championship. Ginner's teammate as well. He is second now. Then Dukanko is gone at second fastest and displaces Paris, who is down into third. What about Hammer Time then? Hammer Time is... Oh, he's off again. Hammer Time is off again then, so he is in major trouble. And I think he's just going to reverse back into the pit lane, isn't he? I think he might be then. Here's Winnie just starting off his up. I think that was Winnie anyway. It is Winnie there. It's Hammer Time then. I think that there's some damage on that AlphaTauri. This is not ideal at all, is it, for Hammer Time? Then we're going to leave him to it for the minute. Then Senna and Crusher T are on their outlaps at the moment, and we'll see what they can do. And here is Winnie now coming in to turn number 3 then. Of course, this is I think it's the first ever Grand Prix we've had here in Zandvoort, isn't it? For Cobalt, I believe. And so, yeah, good stuff indeed there. We can't really have a representative time from last season, of course. And so the first time ever that Cobalt is driving here in Zandvoort today. J-Dog then dropping down the order slightly because I think we've just seen Craig R moving himself into a very solid 4th position there. So good stuff indeed there. Crusher T using a lot of the circuit on the outside of turn. I think I was just going into turn 7 actually. It was indeed there. My golly gosh then as well. We have got Silent saying, well, I need to think positive. I was 20th yesterday and I'm 14th today. Then upgrades. Yes, indeed. Then of course, Silent Shifting went from 20th on the grid to finish 10th in the end then, but also had a fastest lap as well. Of course, the grid was a bit jumping up towards the end. Of course, it was in the end that it was Jamie Enright who won his fifth Grand Prix win of his career last night. Then, and he got his 3rd Grand Prix with Swanshanks getting on the podium as well for the first time in his career. So congratulations to Swanshanks then, and that was the end result then in bronze last night then, as Winnie goes into 8th fast, and Cressio T, who is seeing wrestle that car, Senna getting very close to one of the Mercedes. I think it was Craig R just coming back into the pits, and Cressio T out of the final turn. And can Cressio T get through in the qualifying 3? Remember, we have already heard from in the comments. Well, I must apologise because oh my goodness me, and what has happened there? Picasso was crawling, and I think that Winnie has just gone into the back of him there. Oh dear, oh dear. And I think that Winnie, I wonder if Winnie was going for a second run there, and unfortunately Picasso was on the circuit. I'm not really sure what Picasso was up to. I'm wondering if he just he spun there on his outlap earlier on this session. Now Senna goes fast as in the Ferrari. My word there. So Senna's gone fast by 10th for a second, but we're just going to concentrate on Winnie at the moment there. I don't think there was any 5-place grid penalties. Usually there is a 5-place grid penalty if there's a major incident in qualifying. I didn't see if there was a major incident now. Dukanko's gone 3rd fastest in the Alfa Romeo team tonight then. Of course, Alfa Romeo have got they're down in 4th position in the Constructors at the moment, which I'm quite surprised by, because that was one of my favourites to pick then for the Constructors World Championship, but at the moment that has not been the case. And Baguette has just gone 6th fastest there. Good time there for Baguette. 5/10 was taken away from J-Dog, but that is very much in the thick of the action, so she's going to be very happy with that. Ross G saying go on Craig then, and Craig in 8th position at the moment there in the Mercedes. And Winnie there just coming back in to the pits. And what about Cressio T then? I think Cressio T then is now really starting to find steam. He's found some bit of steam there. It's gone 9 fastest now. That will be enough to get through into qualifying at 2-3. I think it is, because we're already in qualifying 3, aren't we? But of course, but Winnie there knows that he's got Hammer Time, Picasso, and Iron Knight still yet to come out onto the circuit there. And that is so. I think this Winnie's got to come in, repair that Red Bull, and get himself back out there. We've got Alfa Romeo parked there, just getting out of the way. Then good stuff indeed there for, I think it's for Dukanka. We've also got Haas getting out of the way as well as Hammer Time, who we've got to say was spinning like a Beyblade then in the opening stage of this qualifying session. What's the qualifying tour, I should say. We've got a Crusher T then who's gone right off, and that's where his teammate Sir Dave went off a minute ago. Crusher T then trying to find his way back onto the circuit. Hammer Time is looking very floaty out of turn 14 then, but this time the back end does stick out of the final turn then. Hammer Time goes fast there, 6/10 of a second in front of center. My word, is that job done? I think it is, and of course, unless the rain stops, and it but I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, and it just feels like it's getting heavier rather than getting lighter at this stage of proceedings then. Hammer Time out on circuit as well. Picasso is invalidated this time then, so Picasso is going to have another bite of the cherry now. Starburst is also out there, of course. He is very close then to getting through them, but I think the Starburst, if I was Starburst, I'll be quite happy at that time then. If maybe I'll be happy to just sit in the garage potentially, but with Hammer Time there throwing down the gauntlet there, was that Hammer evolution or was that track evolution there? I must say I think it was more down to Hammer Time and how he handles the car rather than the track conditions personally there, but of course that is just a bit of a finger in the air kind of guess. And here's Picasso then, who him and Winnie had a bit of a shunt there in that corner just a few minutes ago there. Picasso drifting slightly wide then. The first intermediate split time is up in the top right hand corner then. It's a 27 then to start his journey off in this qualifying session there. Now into the middle part of the circuit and not much room for overtaking then. Very wide there, very wide indeed. And it's a very peculiar set of corners these are, aren't they? Really, as you just let the car just drift out. Picasso let the car drift out a bit too much there. He's attacking the curbs quite nice indeed, which I'm really enjoying. I do like when the drivers attack the curbs. Is it the quickest way around here? It's the quickest way around the Italian Grand Prix in Monza, which is coming up in a week's time, of course, here on ALR. And of course in Monza, which is the Temple of Speed, is the home of the Ferrari team, and of course so really looking forward to that one. Starburst has found a lot of time now, goodness me, so good time indeed there for Starburst. He is quickest so far. I think that should be safe enough. Picasso goes 7 fastest, that is safe at the moment. Iron Knight was pretty quick as well in the opening qualifying session there, but of course that was in the dry. Now that the rain is coming in, this is a completely different ball game here in Zandvoort then, as he is swirling away, coming across the line as well, and Iron Knight goes third fastest. Junior has just a great lap there from Starburst. That's a cracking lap from Starburst, isn't it? Lovely stuff indeed. Iron Knight has just jumped up in the third fastest there. Really good times out there. Paris has done 5 laps on those intermediate tires. My golly gosh, then. Here comes Picasso then floating through. The first intermediate split time comes up now. He's 2 seconds off the pace, and we're leaving to it for now then. Smithy is a 10th of a second up in the first sector as well then. Remember, when you're on the intermediate wet weather conditions there, you do just fuel the car up for a couple of laps or so, and it's all about confidence in the rain, isn't it? I would say that you rather have more fuel on the car and just go round and round rather than have less fuel, of course, then, because it's about confidence is more important, I think, than weight load, of course. The more fuel you put in the car, you have to stop the fuel, you have to accelerate the fuel. It's more weight then, which means it's more time lost there. But I think in these wet weather conditions there, it's more important to have confidence. It's the driver that produces more of the it's the driver's skill which comes to the foyer a bit more in the wet weather conditions. I would hazard a guess then, as we're on board Smith and Whitey on the intermediate tires and the green mark intermediate tires and the shallow groove tires, and which disperse the water there from under the car, so it stops it from getting on top of the water and aquaplaning. There's going to be no sign of aquaplaning at the moment, I say there, because there's no standing water on the circuit. It is just a very damp top then. Was a wet top, isn't it, really, at the moment? Woody with a full front wing this time around then. He's found 3/10 of a second. He might need to find a bit more time on the board there, but he's in the 21s now when he is 3 minutes to go in this session. 180 seconds left then in qualifying 2. We are at the moment in the drop zone. It's Craigar, Crusher T and Winnie. On the perils or on the danger zone is Baguette, Picasso and Smithy Almighty. Smithy Almighty has put himself up in trade position there, and J-Dog also might be sweating a bit as well. So goodness me, it's quite condensed there in the mid-pack here at Cobalt. But what do you expect then? Of course, it is exactly... Oh my word, then we've got yellow flag in one then. That's exactly what you come to expect in Cobalt there. Winnie taking a lot of the grass there as well on the outside. A lot of commitment here from the Red Bull driver. He's on the curb there. It's out Red Bull's suspension's being put to the test here in round 11 of Cobalt. My goodness me. We have got a McLaren facing the wrong way there. Smith reminds you a lovely pirouette then, and he is back away then. Winnie is down the back straight, is down the back straight, then second intermediate split time, 2:10 second up. That will get him in front of Crustier T at the moment there. So that is good stuff indeed. Senna has retired from the session there, but he's in the pits then. So good stuff indeed there for Senna. So he's fifth, and he's one and done up there from Senna. He'll be very happy with that indeed then. Out of final turn then for Winnie. J-Dog's also happy in second position there. I would have been a bit nervous if I was J-Dog there. Winnie coming across the line there. What can Winnie do? He goes 12 fast, and so very much in the ballpark. What can Craigar do? Craigar has not got new intermediate tires on. That is an interesting strategy. He's found 5/10 a second. Oh, Craigar has it. That's what I was talking about with J-Dog then, because that is in the facility of J-Dog and Smithfield March and Picasso. Oh my goodness me. What can Craigar do? He's going to really spring a surprise then. Baguette is out on an outlap as well, and Picasso as well. Smithy Almighty is in the pitch. J-Dog is out of qualifying as well. He is happy. He has retired the car. Here comes Craigar across the line. Craigar goes 9 fast then. A whisker away from Smithy Almighty. Has he got enough to fuel then to go for another run? I think he has, and he could find some more time out of that car as well. Oh my golly gosh then. Winnie 2:10, 2 seconds down in the second split time, so I think Winnie's qualifying session may be done here then. Crustier T, I think he's actually just done a lap, and he's got back in front of Winnie actually, unbeknownst to me then, so we're just seeing where Baguette is. Baguette is down the back straight. Picasso's starting his lap as well, just seeing what Crustier T can do. Crustier T has gone 2/10 a second up in the first split time then, and that will knock Baguette down into 12th position, and that is in the ballpark of where Picasso is as well. Let's go on board with the Alpine driver. Love the helmet it's on, by the way. Lovely bit of red and green. Usually they say red and green should never be seen then, but yes, I quite like that colour combination there from Crustier T. Love it. And down the back straight then, Crustier T though is doing a lot of harvesting in that Alpine car. He has a lot of battery left then, so I wonder if Crustier T might back off here. The rain has stopped. The rain has stopped then, so the track is now going to get quicker. Look at the heat haze in the background as well. That is the water evaporated off the circuit. Oh my word then. So that there may be some tears from some major players here in this qualifying session. Crustier T out of the final turn then. He is coming up to the line. Crustier T goes to them fast then. He has still got time for another lap then. What about Craigar? Craigar is not is still out there as well. There could be some major problems here. Picasso's in 10th position at the moment, and he is 2/10 a second up. Picasso is that will get him in front of Smithy Almighty then, and even J-Dog as well. Yellow flag then as Paige. Oh, Paige is off the circuit there. Oh no, I think she would have got through if she didn't make that mistake there, but she is off the track there, out of qualifying, and that's her day done and dusted in qualifying. Unfortunately, Picasso then is going to really strengthen his position, strengthen his hope though, and get himself into qualifying free as well. Out of the final turn then, and let's see then, and Picasso goes 5th fastest then. Oh my golly gosh then. Craig is 6,000 a second down then. What about Crustier T? Oh no, he's in the wall. He is out of qualifying. He got on the power too much there, and Crustier T is out of qualifying. He's 11th fastest on the grid. Oh dear, that's such a shame for Crustier T. Page and Crustier out of qualifying, unfortunately. And I think that Craig Arden, is he going to back off here? So yes, he has backed off. He is through on his well, he had a Mercedes debut last week, didn't he? But this is his full-time drive now for the Mercedes, and on his debut, he is through into qualifying free. Wow, magnificent effort there from Craigar. Lovely stuff indeed there, so come back in the pits. Unfortunately, Page out qualifying, and the track is going to dry up quite quickly. I think we're going to see dry tires at the end of this qualifying session there, as then the Mercedes mechanics get ready for Craigar to get him back in as a tool starts the session now. Hopefully he can get back in pronto. Page is retired from the session now, as she is out of qualifying, and Winnie also out as well, unfortunately. So those are 3 drivers that got knocked out of qualifying too. As Sirius saying, just got back. What's happened to Big Dog then? Well, Big Dog is was close but no cigar. He is just about in qualifying. I think the Crustier T and Page was going to be a major thorn in the side for J-Dog, and Smithy Almighty as well, but they are all through then. Senator saying no Page. Gordo going ouch then, no Crustier. That will buff out though, so no worries, Crustier, that will buff out. It will indeed. Just put a bit of polish, a bit of spit on there, and that Alpine will be as good as new. Out of qualifying is Winnie, Baguette, and Crustier T. Unfortunately, all out of qualifying now. So the top 10 will be who is going to get pole position then for the Dutch Grand Prix. Yes, we are in the holiday, don't we? For the Dutch Grand Prix, Craigar, Smithfield Monty, J-Dog, Ducanco, Senna, Picasso, Iron Knight, Paris, Hammer Time, or Starbus. Those are our top 10 shootout then. Those are contenders. Who's going to be the gladiator here in the Coliseum of. I think I'm in the wrong country, aren't I? That should be next week. My word, there you go. That's what I use for trying to. Star Wars back in the session. There you go. That's what I use for trying to be a bit like poetic and all that kind of stuff. What is it? Well, but what I'm not going to try and be poetic about. 6,100 seconds separates the top 3 in qualifying 2. I was very quietly trying to wipe away the the sweat that was coming down my. I need like a sweatband or something. I used to have a pink one somewhere, but I think I manoeuvred my room around a bit, and now all of a sudden I can't find anything, which is about 5 weeks ago, and yeah, and things like that I just seem to forget about until around about now. Anyway, you don't hear about my domestics, do you? Let's get on with it. Unfortunately, Paige there, not very happy in the chat there is unfortunately. Oh, Crusher T's not going to be happy either. He's out for session there. Page out qualifying, unfortunately. Senator saying, well, we're going to get Q3 rain, I suppose. Then what's the race weather then? Page has just informed us it is dry. Then and Smithy Almighty, who's got a qualifying ban, I think, hasn't he? Potentially. I have read the race review. I swear. I just can't remember. I just can't remember mainly because I only read the actual what happened in the race, which you would think I would know what happened in the race since I commentated on it. But yeah, a lot of things do happen. Do happen between Alr Cobalt and Alr Gold, and of course Alr Cobalt week to week. And of course, we do also do gold, silver, and bronze as well. Of course, 4 leagues of the Alr. My goodness gracious me! Our adventure's been going for almost 3 years now. So I think that we was established in 2019. I think we are the first league that Alr was on. The first game that Alr was on was actually Formula 1 2018, I believe it was then. It was, wasn't it? Something like that. Goodness me. We have been since then we have been going from we have been going from strength to strength, aren't we? I think that it's been a very good journey to be a part of. Goodness me, I'm feeling a bit. I'm just feeling a bit. I can't remember what the word is now. There we go. The words have forsaken me. Words have forsaken me once again, haven't they? Right, hammer time then is. Let's see then. I don't think to the time is there forsaken this man now. I think that the season. Oh my word! Oh no! Hammer time is off the circuit there, and that is not going to help him, is it? And I think that I'm actually going to maybe that the time has forsaken him on this occasion because that's not the best way to start us out then. But we're going to follow him anyway. Aston Martin's in a bit of trouble there. Starburst is also spun as well. The top 2 in the World Championship seem to be having some troubles on their outlaps at the moment now, so they just got to just recover, haven't they? On board now with Hammer Thomas. He accelerates through turn 3. Then Page is saying, you think it's bad for you? I'm moving next week. I don't think I'll find anything for about a year. Oh, goodness me. I hope you're moving too far, or I hope you are moving too far. It actually depends there. Well, good luck with the move anyway. It's probably one of the worst things out is have a house move. I hated it. I really did. And to be honest, actually, some of my stuff I think is still in the box anyway. I think so obviously that's how much I think I moved about. I moved at the end of 2019, I think. So yeah, about 2 years ago, something like that. Oh my gosh, time flies when you're on fun, doesn't it? So yeah, I think some of my stuff's still in the box. And good luck with your move, Page. I hope it goes well. And enjoy. Enjoy as best you can, but yeah, movie's never a nice thing, is it? We have got Serious Rush saying greasy. Good save by Hamilton there from Jinner. We've now just got Hamilton cut across the line. Of course, he's done 11.6, and that's still a very good time considering the fact that he was fighting with his car before he even started. Question T's back in the session there. Senna is less than a tenth of a second away. Look how close the top 2 are. We're on dry tires, which I probably should have pointed out about 4 minutes ago, but I was waffling away. Picasso out of the final turn then, and where does Picasso go? He goes third fast, and I think he's made a mistake somewhere. It's in the 20s, which would have been good for a wet time, but not for a dry time then. So the rain came and went to the twinkling of an eye. Ducanco is going third fastest in the Alfa Romeo. Oh my word then, Picasso is facing the wrong way there, but I don't think there's an Alfa Romeo coming up there. Hopefully the engineers told him about it. Craig R on his day for the Mercedes team, on a great job with these. Starburst on pole position by half a second. That is a mega lap from Starburst. Incredible stuff there. Wow. And my word then, I got to say, that is pretty impressive there. Even Stiles there down in the bottom, who's chatting amongst himself, but it looks there, is even impressed there with Starburst performance as well. That is pretty immense indeed then. Have you... and goodness gracious me then, sir. So that is absolute mega stuff indeed then. Thank you all for joining us, by the way. Then, of course, keep your comments coming in as well. And I think that I really enjoy this track, and this track is, I really enjoy driving it. It's a tough old circuit, this one is. I think ever since it made its debut on the F1 2020 game, it's been one of my, it's been up there on one of my top 5 races to run with, top 5 tracks to drive on. Shame I'm not very good around here, to be honest. So I must say, I'm like a milk float when I drive around here. I'm like a milk float when I drive around a lot of places. And Ducanco is gone at second fastest. He's not a milk float. He may be white on the car then, but goodness me, that is a cracking time now. He is now in second fastest. Good stuff indeed. Craig comes into the pits. Picasso's lost the whole of the wing nose there. J-Dog is gone started his lap as well. Iron Knight, so both Haas cars out at the moment. And we've also got the Paris out on circuit as well. Jitter saying, go Starbust. Yes, indeed, go Starbust. He is currently fastest. Ducanco's got him 3 seconds, and the sun is starting to begin to shine on the surface as well. I'm wondering now the sun is going to help the surface and become less greasy, more grippy. And here is Iron Knight. Then, of course, he really elevated his status and his stock after that Grand Prix winning in the Silverstone. Iron Knight has elevated his stock one more time as well. Then he is now second fastest here, 200 a second away from Ducanco. Great stuff indeed. It's Ducanco for another body show. No, he's pulled off a bit then. Here's Paris and out of the final turn, and Paris of course is second fastest one. And Paris got his first podium. He started off his career there with 2 podiums on the bounce in Bahrain and Spain, and then since he became a full-time Williams driver there, he wasn't on the podium till last week there, which is incredible stuff. That was like 8 rounds later for Paris. I had a bit of a difficult mid-season for Paris. Hopefully he can get himself back and it's sorted then. Serious Russian saying Duncan, Dave or Big Dog for pole position then from Serious Russian. Here's J-Dog, and he goes 4 fast at the moment now. Starburst then is fast then. Iron Knight second, Ducanco and J-Dog third and fourth. Hammer Time down in 5th at the moment now. We did see Hammer Time now really resting his car. Paris is at 55, at 57, 100 a second up in the second split time for the Williams car. Look at that, and he's hacksawing away on that Williams steering wheel. Down the back straight he goes. Turn 11 is coming up for you. 2 seconds up in the second split time there for Paris. Mega stuff indeed then. Out of the out of 13 as well. Look at all the dust and dirt there coming out of turn 13, coming out of turn 12. And I don't think the drivers are going to be too happy with their colleagues there, are they? As they're putting a lot of gravel there on the track. And we've also got some more dirt lines coming into the pit lane as well. Paris is second fastest there, 79 hundredths of a second outside the 11 flat there, and he is less than 100th of a second away from Starburst. And my goodness me, that's a better time for Paris. He is a qualifying specialist in the Williams, and he is on the front row of the grid. J-Dog then, who is at 74 second up in the second split time. We're on board with J-Dog then, a 2-time Grand Prix winner this season. J-Dog is he is very much incredible this season as well. J-Dog is, he's 4,000 down now. He's at the limit of the car. Is that the limit that he can do in this qualifying session? Can J-Dog then squeeze some more potential out of that car, or is that his limit then? Has he reached the ceiling here? Wow, we'll have to find out then. His Senna is doing a bit of grass cutting at the moment there, so I think he's just trying to get out of the way of J-Dog. Very gentlemanly thing to do there for Senna, then get him well out of the way. Lovely stuff indeed. 4 minutes to go in this qualifying section, so we've got Picasso then going into turn 3. I love that. I do love the bank corners around here. They're just really so satisfying, aren't they, to go around there. Last over the line, pole again then, Serious Mushroom Miracle, and I concur. Definitely very much indeed then. I'm talking of concur or conquers. Oh no, and Picasso is out of qualifying. Oh, goodness me. Picasso has gone off there. We've had so many incidents there. Turn 8 this week. Picasso is going to be 9th on the grid there. And it's such a shame that once again, Picasso overdriving the car potentially. He is out of... as we've gone... it's his teammate now. As I looked up and I saw the Williams there coming into the pits, which really startled me slightly. Senna is invalidated this lap, and I think he's going to invalidate the next lap as well. He is indeed that. So Senna is... that's a double whammy for Senna. And what's he doing? He's coming into the pits. Yeah, he's invalidated this on the next lap. Then what can Hammer Time do then? 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session there. Let's see then. And out of the final turn, let's go on board now, shall we? Because I think this is home Grand Prix for Hammer Time. So let's enjoy the hometown hero on a lap then in Zandvoort, coming into turn 1, which is actually called Tarzan. And no one actually said that I was wrong the other night, so I'm going to continue on my story about Tarzan. I think that corner is named after a local who lived on the outside of turn one, and I think he didn't want the track to be built, or he didn't want the track to be opened, or something like that. I know that he didn't want something to do with the track. Then he was grumbling, wasn't he, about the construction or something? And that's what turn one's named after that. That Dutch resident on the outside of turn one. I think that's the case. Anyway, I can't remember what turn 7 is either, which I've been trying to. To be honest, I've just been too lazy to look at a track map. I'm not really, but there we go. So that is. But this onboard lap, then I've completely ruined it there for Hamilton, because we wanted to talk about this lap, but unfortunately I've been talking about Tarzan for halfway through it. Down into 11 then. Where's he going to break then? Just before the 50-meter board then. Picasso is after the session. Hopefully he'll come back in a minute then. Accelerates it away then. Look at that Hamilton taking a lot of the outside curve then. And now flicking it into turn 13. I don't want to go too wide there. He's gone too wide. Hammer time outside. He's invalidated his time. Hammer time outside. And the pressure is starting to build on the championship leader. Here's a Ducanco now. And hammer time now. Goodness me. I think that's 2 laps that he's invalidated. No, it's just the first lap. He should be okay. It dawned on me after I got off board with him there. Let's go back on board with Hamilton. Take 2. I think he did that on purpose, because he wanted us to describe a lap with him. Into turn 3 as well. Then the bank turn 3 there. There's a lot of drivers there. You can take so many different lines through turn 3, or you can on the real world of F1, not so much on this game, I would say. And look at this part of this first section there. It is absolutely a roller coaster ride, isn't it? Now flicking it in at turn 6 and 7, I think it is. My word there, you're very much hanging on to the car. The car just wants to understeer off the circuit there. Hammer time is not having any of it, is he? And now into the times of the midfield section now as well. There's one to touch the outside curve. Then we've had a couple of crashes there over the course of the week as well. Into turn 11 then. DRS then right to the exit of that curve there. And hammer time there. He didn't even hear the beat there. He just pressed it straight from the get-go. Breaking down then into turn 11 and 12 then. Don't want to take too much curve then. Take too much curve. Your tyres in the gravel. You lose time. You don't want to lose time around here, do you? Into 13 as well. Don't go too wide. Hammer time. That's within the boundaries this time around. That's inch perfect there for hammer time. Out of the bank. Turn 14 now. He's had some issues there. He's out of the battery. He's depleted out of battery, but is it enough? It's full fastest for hammer time. And at the moment it's lined up for pole position. He's got half a minute to go here. Oh, I've given myself a headache. We've got Paris, who is 5/10 of a second down at the moment, so we're going to leave him to it for the minute. Ducanco's 2/10 of a second up in the Alfa Romeo. He had a touch of understeer there for Ducanco, but he drove that superbly well into 13. He has run wide there, and we've got Starbust, our provisional pole sitter, who has gone off there, and I think he is out of time as well for Starbust, as he also he's lost the pole as well. And look at that, 11.055. Ducanco's on pole position by just over 15/100ths of a second there. Oh my goodness me, that is absolutely sensational. This is magnificent stuff there. J-Dog then out of the final turn as well, turn 12-14 then. And J-Dog there is, I'm not sure if J-Dog's lost a bit of frustration. It is frustration, he's lost 3/10 of a second for somewhere. Starburst there has lost the whole of the wing section. What about Senna? Senna is coming up, he's full fastest. Senna is half a second quicker. He's now displaced Iron Knight and Hammer time then. Iron Knight is 2/10 of a second up. Iron Knight is 2/10 of a second. Iron Knight's on pole, but he's in the 10-9s there. Iron Knight is fantastic. Wow, impressive stuff indeed. Hammer time is down in 6th position. He's off his car's a bit dirty there. I think he's got off somewhere. Craig Gar is 4100 a second down in the first split time. Paris is 10th a second down in the second split time. What about Ducanco? Is Ducanco going to respond? I don't think he is. He looks like he's crawling back to the pits. He is indeed there. So is Paris as well. Here comes Craig. He's 3/10 of a second down as well. So it's Iron Knight who's on pole position then for the Dutch Grand Prix. Wow, magnificent stuff indeed there for Iron Knight. I think that's Iron Knight's first pole position of the season. Is that his first pole position of his career as well? Let me get out the old stat book, shall we? Unfortunately, I should really know that off by heart, really, shouldn't I? When you hit 30, though, that's the problem. Then your mind just becomes a complete sieve, doesn't it? That's his second pole position of his career. He's had a pole position. I think wasn't he on pole position for Hungary or won the first 2 races of Cobalt, wasn't he? But Iron Knight is back on pole position here in Zandvoort, and so he's going to be overjoyed with this result. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Iron Knight. Pole position now, that was magnificent stuff indeed. But look how close it is between Iron Knight, Ducanco, Starburst and Paris. It is ridiculously close, but it's Iron Knight then who got his first Grand Prix win not too long ago. Now he's got a second pole position, and Iron Knight then, this is the start of the second season then. Goodness gracious me then. Senna then Senna saying that he's not feeling too smart with the old strats at the moment now. Iron Knight on pole position there by less than a tenth of a second, then from Ducanco in second position, but then Ducanco, Starburst in Paris, and less than a hundredth of a second separates all those drivers. Less than a blink of an eye then would have separated you from fourth to second, and oh my goodness me, Senna in fifth position there, not too far away here for Senna with Hammer Time in sixth, and J-Dog 7th, Craig R in eighth position, Picasso in ninth, Smithfield Mighty in 10th position then, as we now proceed then with the race itself, and fantastic stuff indeed then, as I quickly get rid of all my notifications then, and we shall be on it then. Oh, it's Spain and Italy are playing live, and there's good stuff indeed. I didn't even know the internationals was back on, which is not good, is it? As much I used to love the internationals in football, but it's a shame we don't have Premier League stuff though, isn't it? So, oh dear, it looks like that. Well, I've got a wedding this weekend, so that ain't too bad, I suppose. And also, I've also found some great news: is that the wedding don't start until 3:30, which means I can watch the qualifying for the Dutch for the what race are we at this weekend? Turkish, that's it, for the Turkish Grand Prix. So I'm absolutely overjoyed with that. So fantastic stuff indeed. Because I was in a bad mood, to be honest. Of course, it's meant to be my friend's best day and all that kind of stuff, and I'm sure it will be. But of course, I do want to watch qualifying. Right, let's get on with this, shall we? You got a half a minute then to get myself sorted out. We've got to get into race trim now. The drivers got to get into race trim. I've got to get into race trim as well, don't I? I got to speak less nonsense and more. More informative, which is never the case, is it? So this is round 11 of Cobalt here in the Dutch Grand Prix. We've got 20 drivers then out there. It's going to be attacking the circuit, haven't they? And we've seen a lot of drivers attack the circuit right from the get-go, haven't we, here tonight? It's been really good stuff indeed, really good viewing. And let's get on with the show, shall we? 36 laps around this Grand Prix as well then. So we have got an Aston Martin, and it's very keen to get going by the looks of this Starburst there, who is flying it. There he goes. So Starburst is absolutely flying. And remember that was Michael Schumacher got black flagged, didn't he, in the 94 Grand Prix in Silverstone for overtaking Hill twice on the out lap, didn't he, on the formation lap. And of course, I think he got 2 race suspended ban, didn't he? I think he wasn't allowed to take part in the Portuguese, and was it Italian Grand Prix? I think it was, wasn't it? Something like that, potentially. Right, Iron Knight on pole position for the second time in his career, and the Haas car, lovely stuff. To remember, the joint constructors comes out at the end of this race as well. We'll update you on the joint constructor standards as it in gold. Then is unfortunately I haven't got my mass hat on tonight. Then I never have my mass hat on. Second position Ducanco, third position is Starbust, fourth position is Paris, all on the medium compound tire. In fifth position is Senna on the soft tyres, Hammer Time on soft in sixth as well, and J-Dog on soft in seventh, and the J-Dog on soft in seventh position as well. Eighth position is Craig R. Ninth position is Picasso. Craig R on the medium tyres, Picasso on the soft, Smithfield Mighty on the soft, and Crustier T on the soft as well. Baguette is gone for medium. 13th position is Winnie, he's gone soft. Silent Shifted has gone soft as well. Medium tyres for Gino, who's been gracing us with his presence in the comments. So thank you very much, Gino, and good luck in the race as well. 16th position is Kaz, who's also been gracing us in his comments as well. He said good luck to everyone, good sportsmanship there for Kaz. Great to see him back in the Ferrari for Kaz, and looking forward to seeing what he can do as well. His first race, this is Kaz's first race since the French Grand Prix. He's on the medium tyres. Sir Dave has gone soft then. 18th position is Stars on the medium. Scooby Stew on the medium tyres as well. ZGS has gone hard tyres. ZGS has been on fine form as of late, hasn't he there? Of course, he got 5th position in the British Grand Prix, and then the Belgian Grand Prix he got 3rd as well. 20 cars then. Everyone has got a free choice of tyres, and so everyone's got fresh tyres on their cars then, as we had rain in the second qualifying session there. So they was able to choose their tyres as well, which has made it very interesting indeed, and lovely sunshine here as well. We're on board the pole sitter. This is our night. It's not a long run down into turn 1, is it? And look at him now, just making sure he doesn't overshoot that box, and that yellow line sticking on the right hand side of the grid box. You don't want to go for that then. That helps the drivers line up the wheels and course, because you can't see the front of the car, can you, when you're sat so low on this camera angle? It's so much higher up, isn't it? Let's find out how this race progressed as well. Look at this, and Iron Knight then is the man that they're going to be chasing as well, and the red lights are on then, and red lights are going to go off then, and when we'll be going in, not yet then, of course, then his drivers are now revving up, and here we go, and it's go, and Picasso's reversal on the grid there, but we're racing now, and look at this, and Iron Knight is still leading, and Starbus is trying to get up in the second position as well. Paris is in fourth, then 5-5-5, and at the back of the field is Picasso. I think he dropped out of the session. I don't think he's come back in, has he? And that's such a shame. And Baguette has dropped right down to the back of the field then. Baguette is down the back of the field. She's had some issues, and it's Hamilton is trying to make use of these soft tyres, and but he can't at the moment, but he has gone past Senna. Senna's dropped down the order at the moment, as we've got a gaggle of cars in the background here, and there they are. It's the McLaren. It's the Jinner who's out of five places, Jinner, as he's taken off like a scolded cat here. Wow, magnificent 17th as we go over the crest of the hill, and then we've got Silent Shifting, who's made his way silently up into 11th position. Great stuff indeed there for Silent Shifting back in the front, and Iron Knight's disappeared. He's out completely. He's out of DRS already from Ducanco, and then it's anyone's ball game in the background here, and Hammerton then get a bit squirrely on the old rear end there, and Hammerton then is really pushing on its lead in a 5th position at the moment. And Senna then, who's on the soft tires as well, Senna is, as we got a car just completely disappeared and come back on. Baguette is right at the back of the field then. Major issues then for Baguette, unfortunately, in the Alfa Romeo. What a shame then for Baguette. Hopefully she may need a safety car at this stage. Oh no, Starbus is left for session, and no, goodness me, Starbus is taking the World Championship. This is major problems now, and look at this, and it's now we got Iron Knight, and he's going for into turn one on the inside of Paris on the medium tires, and Hamilton is on the soft. He wants to try and he wants to make up as much time as possible on the soft tires, and J-Dog has got past, oh my goodness me, J-Dog has also got past Starbus as well. Starbus just dropping down the order, unfortunately back on board then with Paris. I think the job is done there. Everyone in front of Starbus is, everyone in front of Hamilton is on the medium tires, so he does have a pace of action at this stage of the season. Jinner, who's just got past his teammate as well, and Silent Shift is down to the 10th position there. So what a shame now, what a shame did them. So Baguette is in the pits now, on the change tires, and Picasso I think is out of the Grand Prix, as unfortunately I think he left the session there, unfortunately. Oh, it's a great guard. I'm in a bit vicious there. Paris has dropped down the order then. Moscow Paris is in some major peril here, and he's dropped down the order as well, which is such a shame then. As you can see then, so is Starbus from down 8th position. Well, let me get on the tires then. I think I was already on the tires, wasn't I? So there they are then. So soft then for Senna, Hammer Time and J-Dog then. Paris on the medium tires, along with Craig as well. So they're going for more of the longer stint as well. Dave is up into 12th position. Good stuff indeed there for Dave. Baguette is almost 40 seconds away then from the back of the field at the moment there. But let's see what she can do. It's not all done and dusted yet. It's Craig, yellow flag. What's going on then? There's a yellow flag, and that's a car. It's Jinner. Oh no, Jinner's off the circuit, and he's down at the back of the field then, and he's lost the whole of the wing section. Well, just disappeared like Houdini there, goodness me. So he's lost the front wing now, unfortunately, and Jinner's come into the pits then, in the Aston Martin then, and there's Smithfield Moix in into 8th position then. Star Scuba Shoot now also up to a very solid 13th position as well, and after he exited quite early on in qualifying, on board with Smithfield Moix then, flicking it through turns 7 and 8 as well. You can see when we're on board, don't you just feel the car just trying to spin out there, isn't it? Oh my word then, but yes, very brave at the moment there. As I first want to say, Paige must have damage. Yes, I think she pitted, because I think she had a spin on the first corner on lap 1 there. I'm not sure what happened there, but we just sent her around the wrong way. Jinner unfortunately has also had to pit early on as well. ZGS on the hard tires, serious Russian saying that no now. As potentially is, but ZGS at the moment is in 60th position. Let's see how those hard tires can do that. Hammer Time is now 4 tenths of a second away from Ducanco. He is flying at the moment. He didn't have a very good qualifying session, had a very miserable qualifying session, a very messy qualifying session. Hammer Time did, but look at this then. He is speeding along up the inside, and Ducanco is on the outside, and Side Shifter is at the fast side of the race, and who's that? Iron Knight, the race leader has spun the car, and he is off the circuit there. Iron Knight is, and he has thrown the lead away here in the Dutch Grand Prix. Oh goodness me, and Iron Knight drops all the way down into 11th position, and that is a major blow. And Hammer Time leads the Grand Prix now. Can he sprint away? Hammer Time, remember, he came from 20th to 1st in the Belgian Grand Prix, and when he's in front, he's very difficult to catch. Hammer Time is is there. He gets into a groove and he's almost becomes unstoppable, doesn't he? Hammer Time does that, and I think that is very much music to Hammer Time's ears. So he's going to be very happy to see Iron Knight then no longer in front of him as well. So that's such a shame now for Iron Knight then on board it with Smithy Almighty, who's trying to make these soft tires work then, as Craig R is on the medium tires here. But look, Silent shifting is down into 8th position in the second AlphaTauri car, and AlphaTauri, he's on the inside. That's, oh my goodness me there, as Smithy Almighty there just giving room in the Alpha and the McLaren. I did a good job there, did Smithy Almighty. I'm loving this helicopter shot, by the way, absolutely sensational stuff indeed there. I think 10 out of 10 for the camera shots around here in Zandvoort. Stalls has had issues down into turn 11, unfortunately, in the Red Bull. Still no retirement so far in this race, and we're on lap 4 of the Grand Prix, lap 5 of the Grand Prix now. Oh my goodness me, it's the McLaren now edging close. Then we got the Red Bull is that Stalls again has got some issues there. We have got Silent Shifter going on the inside. That's the other B contact, and there's contact there. There's a pinch zone into turn 3, and Silent Shifter dropping down the order as well. And yes, he's dropped all the way down to 13th position, unfortunately for Stalls. I'm not sure he damaged the car or not. No, he's just got to make sure that the and Styles is in major peril here. What's happening then for Styles? And he's trying to get himself back on the circuit. Oh, goodness me. I'm not sure if there's damage on that Red Bull. Oh, there is now then. And I'm not sure. Styles has been stuck down there for quite a long time. I wonder if he's had a gear shift problem there for Styles, because he hasn't been able to get going. Now, might have been why he might not have spun at all, actually. He may have had some technical problems there for Styles, and that is why he's dropped down to the back of the field then, because he's touring Styles is there. And this could be a major blow for Styles and for Red Bull. What a shame then. Iron Knight has just got past Sir Dave and moved up into a 9th position then. So Iron Knight then on the medium tires. Sir Dave then is down into 10th position on those soft compound tires. Oh no, and that is such a shame for the Red Bull driver. It's a safety car as Styles is trying to recover there. Into the pits comes J-Dog, so he's the first driver then to blink then and coming to the pits there. As Styles has been disqualified for the going the wrong way there. I don't think that's the case at all. There's something wrong with Styles' car. I think that's not the case. That Styles has been disqualified from the session. There's something majorly wrong with that Red Bull car, and whatever the case may be, the race control has decided to call it a day for Styles on his behalf. Then out of the race, and we're down to 19 cars in this race. What a shame then, and that is such a shame indeed. But this is music to the ears then of drivers like Jenner and Baguette, who pitted quite early on then. So Hammer Tom leads it with the Kangaroo second centre in third, Paris in fourth, Craig in fifth, R9 in sixth, Sir Dave 7th, Crusher T in 8th, and J-Dog, who's now come out of the pits in 9th position, and he's now on fresh medium tyres. Scooby Stew in 10th position, Side Shifting now to 11th, and ZGS on the hard tyres in 12th, Starburst in 13th for the medium tyres, and we've got Smithy Almighty, brand new hard tyres in 14th position, Picasso, who is not in the race then, is in 15th position there, Picasso is there, so hopefully he can come back in the not too distant future. 16th position is Winnie on medium tyres, Jenner in 17th position there, Kaz is in 18th position, 19th position is a Baguette then. So that is the whole of the field then. We've got a lovely shot of the Aston Martin safety car. We've had safety cars in every single Grand Prix here in ALR this week, haven't we? So goodness me. And of course, I think the drivers just love to see the Aston Martin safety car, don't we? Of course, we got our first glimpse of the safety car in the, I think it wasn't it the silver race in Britain, or whatever the case may be. It was definitely Britain. It's a beautiful Aston Martin car as well, albeit Sirius Russian thinks it looks more like a Ford Puma, doesn't it there? But there we go. It does look like a Puma, don't it, when we're high in the sky. What is any of the drivers going to come in the pits there? J-Dog was the first to react. He reacted so quickly. Now, is anyone else going to react? And remember that the soft tyres can go quite a long way in this race, and it does depend on how you are on the tyres there. And of course, you don't want to build up any And of course, you don't want to build up any too much thermal degradation then, otherwise you would really be struggling. So we're saying this, while I do not wish anyone luck. Into the pits there comes Smithy Almighty, and this is the second stop there for Smithy Almighty. He's done some issues then, he has another issue then. This is he's gone to the medium tyres now, so I wonder if McLaren put on the wrong tyres there for Smithy Almighty then. Also in the pits is Cass as well then for the Ferrari team. He comes out of the pits now, so then those two are now down in 18 and 19 position. They got a lot of cars to overtake if they want to get some points here tonight then. 19 cars remain then. Safety cars out at the moment then. It's Hammer Time from Ducanco, from Senna, from Paris. That is the top four. Craig R on his day for the McLaren. Sorry, for the Mercedes team. Goodness gracious me. But for the Mercedes team, I should say. Goodness me, then I'm not going to be in the good books of the Mercedes PR machine, am I? But Craig in the fifth position there in the Mercedes. Then we got Iron Knight in sixth, and he was the there. He made a mistake earlier on this race, and he was spinning backwards. He is back up in the 6th position then. Silent Shifting then, who was also making his way quite nicely through the field as well. He is now into 11th position there, Silent Shifting, so he's got a bit of overtaking to do then. Silent Shifting now. It's the only driver in the top 10 who the drivers that are scoring points at this moment is J-Dog. He's currently in 9th position on the medium tyres, so J-Dog is going to go quite a long way into the race. Can he get to the end then? I would say no, but I've been completely wrong then. And oh goodness me! So so we've seen Styles struggling, and it was exactly what we thought then. So we thought that Styles then couldn't get the car going. And we thought it was a gear shift problem then, and he's just commented on the broadcast that he couldn't select a gear. So that is such a shame there for Styles. And out of the Grand Prix, a technical failure then for the Red Bull team. And so the gearbox against Styles today. It looks like he got a tap as well in turn 11 there, which spun him around in the first place. So what a shame there for Styles, and he is going to be very unhappy chappy in the comments then. He is going to be furious. Right then, when are we going then? So Hammer Time has gone already. Goodness me, he has completely gone. Craig has had an appalling start because he's spun the car, and I think that Iron Knight has got to give it back. He is going to have to give it back there, and he has done indeed then. But Iron Knight then, is he going to be able to take advantage? Not quite. As he got down to 2 and centers up the inside, passes Dukanko, and Dukanko then is on the outside though, and Dukanko is through. Goodness me, and look at this. Oh my gosh, I thought there was going to be a pinch point as well. Cressio T and J-Dog is also locking horns as well. Scooby Student has got a conga line behind him. Oh, up the inside. Oh my gosh, and my word there. And now then, Silent Shifter trying to go up the inside there. He's lost a bit of momentum there, and now ZGS there in Starburst. Oh, good sweet, come out. Nowhere Starburst has it down with the 12th position there. Passes GDS there, who's on the medium tyres into the pits comes ZGS then, unbeknownst to me then. I think ZGS has got some damage, has he? Jenner's got some damage, and that's such a shame. That look at that, Hammer Time is so good under the safety car restarts. He's found 2 seconds on the opening up there. He's really quick, is he there? Just sprints away, Hammer Time. Just remember in Spa, in a Belgium as well, and that's a bit unfortunate as well. So Goku is saying then that unfortunately it looks like it was a day late and $1 short the overtake attempt was then. We're not sure what happened there, but that will have to be investigated. Picasso not in the race, and we're down to 18 cars actually, because Picasso is technically not in the race at the moment, and he's not in his car, unfortunately. So hopefully he can get back in his car in the not too distant future. Here is Silent Shift then, who's still behind Scooby Student, and he is on the soft tires, and the soft tires are still the quicker tire one. There will be a crossover later on this race then, depending on how far they go, and of course when that crossover happens, they will the medium tires will become quicker than the soft tires. But at the moment, Silent Shifting does have the high ground, and look at the sparks there from the car in front of Christian T in the Alpine car, which shows how goodness me, J-Dog is this way and that way on Sir Dave. Yellow flag as Hammer Time is the championship leader, is out of the Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me, and he's a safety car. Oh my goodness me, Hammer Time is out of the Dutch Grand Prix. He was in this race, and he is gone, and that is a major blow for Hammer Time. And oh my goodness me, that is our second retirement here in the Dutch Grand Prix, and that is Hammer Time's first DNF of the season as well. He scored no points in Austria, but that is the first time this season that he's failed to make the checkered flag here in the Cobalt this season. Hammer Time has left the session. He is furious with himself there, and that is such a shame there. Oh goodness me. So I think this is much more a sensible time then to come into the pits, isn't there? It's Dukanko who leads the Grand Prix, but he's staying out. Anyone who's on soft tyres, and this is a good opportunity. Into the pits comes Senna then. This is Senna's, I think this is Senna's second race tonight. It is indeed. He made his debut in the Belgian Grand Prix last week. They're thrown onto the medium tyres, and in the Ferrari, Senna is, and he's back out of the garage as well. Also in the pits, and Sir Dave is in the pits. I think we've got both Alpine cars in the pits here. So there's going to be some crawling amongst those drivers, and Dave has gone onto the hard tyres here then in the Alpine car, and they are very slow to get away now. Christian T has dropped all the way down to the back of the field then, so the Alpine team then having to work double time here. He is going to the soft tyres then as he comes out of the garage as well. Gina there out in 14th position now, just in front of the ghost car Picasso, and is he going to get out in front of Sir Dave? I think he is going to get out in front of Sir Dave, and yes he does indeed there. Of course that's when you have to stay behind then, because Sir Dave is now out of the pit lane. Out of the pit lane there, and he lost out then. So then J-Dog is now in the 5th position then after pitting earlier on then. Iron Knight is now back on the forefront after not making that mistake earlier on. Then it's the second appearance now for the safety car after Hammer Time exited the Grand Prix. Then the search first percent. Shocking. It is indeed, isn't it? Silent Shifted has dropped down into 17th, dropped down the order here, hasn't he? Silent Shifted has a feet in the pits, didn't he? So yeah, Silent Shifted down 7th position. Crustier T is in 18th, and he had to queue up beyond his teammates, so it took 4 times as long to be in the pit lane than what he needed then, because even Sir Dave's pit stop was not very good either, as the Alpine team was, got to say, having a leisurely pit stop here, wasn't it? Goodness me, they've had 4 days of non-stop action, haven't they, here in ALR? But my goodness me, then they were not very. But unfortunately, they were not very sharp on that, were they? Sarah's Road saying too early full centre for that full centre unless there's another safety car. So anyone on the medium tires is staying out there. So everyone on the soft tires has come in the garage, and so the likes of a centre has come in the garage. He's now on a new medium tires, and Smith and White also on new medium tires, as is Winnie as well. J-Dog is the hardest driver to come in the pits. Everyone on lap 11. We haven't even reached half distance yet here in this Grand Prix in Zandvoort. It's been action-packed, hasn't it? And of course, another lovely day out here in Zandvoort, isn't there? Of course, the beach is just over yonder. I don't think it's that way. I think it's the other way, isn't it? The beach is there. So I think it's just beyond where we're looking at now. So it's the opposite way, and you can see that there's a lot of sand dunes around here as well, isn't it? It's a beautiful place to race. One race that I would love to visit at some time in my lifetime. Of course, mainly because I love a bit of techno, and I do also like Tiesto as well. I think it was that. Is it Tiesto or Tiesto? It's Tiesto, isn't it? Who was dropping some beats, as the younger generation calls it, in the Dutch Grand Prix. So I'll love to drop some beats as well. But when I go, well, if we ever go to Zandvoort, well, it's quite cool, isn't it? Becca said, Jeepers, Hammer Time is out. Unfortunately, is that he exited the Grand Prix at this stage here. Then yes, that's where he, I think, accelerated on the curb there and went off in a huge way. Hammer Time wasn't in the race at that point. Now we've had a couple of leaders already. We've had Hammer Time, Iron Knight, who was in this race, and unfortunately spun. And then who was the leader after that? Was it safety car then? Who was the leader? Oh my gosh, sir. Oh no. Well, this ain't going too well. It wasn't Starburst there. He dropped down the order, didn't he? Starburst, I think Starburst is in the race. He is back in the race, and he lost the connection, didn't he? Yeah, then it was Iron Knight. It was Iron Knight, then it was Hammer Time. We've had 3 or 4 different leaders so far in the opening 11 laps. I can't remember who the other leader was, so shocking there. It really is then. I don't think I've had my Weetabix today, though. Right, here we go. So, when is Dukanka going to drop the hammer? He was talking about Hammer Tom and how good he was at going under the safety car, because he built up a 2-second gap after just 1 lap. It was fantastic. Right then, when is Dukanka going? He's gone. Here we go. And let's go. So, Dukanka leads. Paris in 2nd position. 3rd position is Craig R, who's really got the legs over Paris here. Oh, goodness me. As Paris is defending right. Oh, no! Baguette is off. Oh, my goodness me. It's a huge incident in the back of the field. And Baguette has gone off in a major way. Scooby Stew is also oh no, contact with the with the Alpine and the Alfa Romeo there, and they've done synchronized spinning there. Oh my gosh, I've heard of synchronized swimming, but not sinking there. Synchronized spinning, my goodness me. Scooby Stew I was looking at there is he was having a good old battle as well. Unfortunately, Crusher T and Silent Shifter kind of blows. I think that might be Crusher T getting in too much there. Goodness gracious me. Paige, what a comeback. Ignore that. Unfortunately, as I think Serious Rushroom has got the older commentator's curse. Unfortunately, Jenner out of the Grand Prix. Jenner's out of the Grand Prix as well. Oh my goodness me. And we've lost 2 drivers in the opening stages here. Is there going to be another safety car? And again, it'd be too early for Jenner. I think I completely agree with Serious Rushroom on this one. Yes, I think it is too early. We just said, oh, safety car. Winnie is down the order as well. Winnie, well, no, he isn't. He's there. Winnie in the 10th position as well. Oh my word, there's absolute anarchy in this race, isn't there? And once again, then we're under a safety car. Oh my goodness me! As Serious Rushroom says he's done. I think that you know how I feel now, Serious Rushroom there, and I think the likes of FIFA Beefy, TK, Dukanko, Brooksy, and everyone else is also wishes that I was done a long time ago. Paris into the pits now then, and let's see then what. So Paris has now gone to the hard tires then, and let's see where this is going to take it on to the end of the race then. Also, Starburst has gone on to a medium tires as well. So interesting, completely different way to go approach this race, and I love that. Absolutely great stuff indeed. And I do enjoy when the drivers don't know what the best strategy is, or does know what the best strategy is, but they got complete different opinions on approaching the race, and that is absolute sensational stuff, isn't it? Indeed. So lap 13, 3 safety cars. We've had some big shunts there. Page has gone off in a huge way in the final sector there, unfortunately. Jenner went off as well. We've also lost Hammer Tom, the championship leader. as I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, if Starbust wins this race and gets fastest up and Hamilton doesn't score, he still will not lead the championship because the gap at the moment is 35 points in, so it will go down to 9-ish. 9-ish, I don't know. I ain't got my calculator out and I'm too scared to touch my phone because I'm thinking that I'll lose the stream. So yeah, you'll have to take it as gospel then. I did get the championship completely wrong on Tuesday, I think it was then, because I was saying that Dylan was going to lose second in the World Championship, and that is complete hogwash to this. So do not ignore me at all. So I think I was 9 points out as well. So absolutely shocking time indeed. Then bath time for Jenner, unfortunately. But I think there's a silent shift trying to overtake for Castle there. Yeah, bath time unfortunately for Jenner. Then he's out of the Grand Prix. But thank you for having your company today, Jenner. Absolutely fantastic something. You need to come into the stream often, my good man, because I really enjoyed your company. Of course, I enjoy everyone's company there. You keep me on my toes then, and you're also telling what's going on as well, really, which potentially you probably should have my job, because I should be telling you what's going on, not the other way around. But I say that this is a two-way thing. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. We're on lap 14 then. Bernd Molander is currently at the moment there, still out on circuit. I think he's led most of the race in laps so far. Becca's impressed with my Massa, very impressed indeed. Actually, I'm impressed actually. I didn't even have to use my fingers either, so I'm getting very good at this Odin Mass Malark, and I just do not watch any streams from season 2 in silver, because you would notice that I completely missed Glock being crowned champion in the Spanish Grand Prix. It's actually season 1, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I don't remember what season he was crowned champion. Goodness gracious me, absolutely shocking, isn't it? As I said before, I'll say again, it's because I'm getting old, that's why. Dukanko leading, Craigar in second, Iron Knight in third position, all on 13 lap old medium tyres. They have not stopped yet. J-Dog has stopped, and of course so J-Dog at the moment there, who was quite close at the championship battle, he's dropped off slightly. He's 23 points behind Starbust in the World Championship, isn't he? 58 points behind Hammer Tom in the championship as well. But a good handful of points for J-Dog will be very welcome indeed. Remember, J-Dog is the top 3 to get promoted into bronze for next season as well. So that is what these drivers are fighting for as well. If it's not for the championship, it may be for promotion. So lap 14 and lap 15 is when we're going to get races as well. And as I take a deep breath, thanks, I'm going to need all the breath I can get now, because I got to say the last 2 safety car restarts have been absolute anarchy, and I'm expecting nothing short of amazement once again. Then on board with Dukanko, he did a good restart last time, didn't he? Very impressive indeed then, but let's see what if he can do it twice in a row. He has done. He has gone there, and Craigar, who's now in second position, and with Iron Knight in third. In fourth position is J-Dog. J-Dog's all over the back of his teammate here. Have they all gone away this time? They have all gone away this time. Iron Knight then is alongside J-Dog, or J-Dog's alongside Iron Knight. Oh no, J-Dog is spun. He's taken too much curve there, and J-Dog has dropped down the order. Oh no, and Kazar is in him. Oh my word there. I've got to say, I'm not even sure. Oh my goodness, this is not going well, and that is not going well at all. There's debris all over the shoulder. That's a McLaren off. Scooby Stew is off the circuit there, and it's all got a bit, there's a lot of anarchy up there, and Sir Davis lost the whole of the front wing, the front end plate there, and we've got yellow flags again, and then Scooby Stew out of the Grand Prix. Sir Davis completely clouted the back of someone, I think now. There's a Senna's having issues as well. Senna's dropping down. Senna's got an end plate problem as well. Oh no, Senna's got major problems there. Sir Davis has got a queue behind him there. I know, oh goodness me, they've got to have a look on the inside then. Sir Davis got to have a look on the inside of Senna as well then. Oh my goodness me, then this is going to be, and oh gosh, there Sir Davis is struggling, and this is hurting Paris, and Paris is trying to get through. Goodness me, and Senna getting out of the way then. So Senna is limping back to the pit. Senna, unfortunately, the Ferrari driver has damaged the end plate there, and Starbust has got down as well. There's a lot of damage there, I think it's from when J-Dog came back into the race, and after his spin in turn 1 there. Oh dear, and it's been pretty messy opening start, hasn't it, to that safety car there. My word there, and Sir Dave is carrying on then. Goodness me, he's going to be quite slow now, isn't he, because he's lost the whole of the end plate down the Alpine car, and up into 11th position there goes Paris there. Sir Dave jumped down into 12th position there. Iron Knight is now 3/10 of a second away then, and that is a big blow for the Haas team and J-Dog as well, because I think the J-Dog's in the box boxes now. I think Silent Shifting then is the highest driver from Smithy Almighty to come in to the pit lane, so he's the second highest driver then to come to the pits and change tyres, so he's on fresher tyres at the moment then. And now then is we've got Iron Knight's serious rush then, saying the game is determined to ruin him as well, as unfortunately J-Dog is now come a cropper as well into turn 1. Unfortunately we got Iron Knight then, and Iron Knight, Craigar and Dukanko battling for lead of the race then. ZGS is having another superb race. In the last 3 races, ZGS is on absolutely fine battle, isn't he? Up until he didn't score points until the British Grand Prix, but since then he's really elevated his stock. His confidence is an all-time high. He is having a magnificent couple of races, ZGS is there, and once again he's keeping this going again, but he's going out as DRS has now been enabled then, and there's a McLaren right on the tail there of ZGS, but I think that Smith and White may need the help of the assistance of the DRS, which is now available at this lap then. Trying to move very slightly there. Smithy Almighty is trying to go on the outside of Winnie. J-Dog is now also in the facility as well. There is J-Dog. Winnie there, who's, oh my goodness me, look at this. Oh my gosh, there's a crouch there, and Vinny there is a crouch. I mean, not a crouch, I don't know what a crouch is. But Winnie there, Silent Shifting there, took, he's seen that Winnie made a mistake there out of turn 3 there, and he got the momentum, and he's through, and he passes, and of course, because I think he knows that J-Dog is going to be quite quick behind him as well there, so that's why Silent Shifting needs to get the job done quite early on then. Iron Knight is Craigar is dropping back from Dukanko now, and Dukanko is having a strong performance, and if Dukanko wins this race, J-Dog is having a bit of a nightmare race tonight, and he can move up into the third and the final promotion spot. Dukanko can then, that is what's on the line for Dukanko. Can he get himself promoted into bronze? And we still got under half the season to go in this race, in this season of course, but Dukanko is now starting to get into a rich form, isn't he? Iron Knight up into second position and passes Craigar. Craigar dives on the outside there, but I think the job is done then for Iron Knight. Iron Knight, he was on pole position earlier on this race, and unfortunately spun it on the opening couple of laps, but he's now back in the hunt then, isn't he? Good stuff indeed. We've got Cressler T, who's got past Kaz and moved up into 10th position, and Kaz dropping down into 11th. Kaz on the medium tyres, Cressler T is on those soft tyres, so he's going to have a pace advantage at the moment. Here comes J-Dog. This is where Smithy, this is where Silent Shifting got past Starburst Call has got the fast lap. This is where Silent Shifting got past Winnie on the last lap, but J-Dog hasn't been able to follow him through on this occasion there. Half distance now in the Grand Prix. And Dukanko is now out of DRS range, or he was out of DRS range momentarily from Iron Knight there, but Iron Knight is going to be very much squeezing him, isn't he, there, because Iron Knight would love to get his second Grand Prix win of the season and of his career as well, and now it really elevating him up a few positions in the championship as well. So tight then, Gene himself, Casal, who's 7 points in front of Iron Knight, and Casal's only 4 points behind Dukanko as well, and Dukanko's only 11 points behind J-Dog. Is so close in that battle for the final promotion spot at the moment there. Really impressive. Need Starburst there. Oh no! And the dude J-Dog has spun it there on the final corner. Oh goodness me! And the Smithy Almighty is now up into, no, he's having a full position, passes CGS on the inside. Oh goodness me! And J-Dog there dropping down into 9th position now. He's made 2 mistakes on this safety car restart period, and J-Dog dropping down the order again, and goodness me, what a shame there for J-Dog. Oh, he's having a tough old race, isn't he, here tonight, J-Dog is there, but let's see what he can do. We've got half the race still to go, then there's a lot of laps then for J-Dog to recover the lost ground if he can. Then Senna has got a fast lap of the race, he's down in 14th position mode. He gets that extra point now, of course, you get a bonus point now, even if you're not in the top 10, it's a great incentive, even if you're on a bad race, to stay in the race, and it's a very good idea indeed. My word then, Iron Knight is flying out there, and he's almost half the deficit in one lap then between himself and Dukanko. Dukanko is under major trouble here, as Iron Knight is really putting the pressure on, really pushing Dukanko to the limit and beyond then here in Zandvoort tonight then. Out of the final turn then, and he will have DRS there, but he is 5/10 of a second away at the moment. I'm not sure if that is going to be close enough. We'll find out. Dukanko thinks it is, he's trying to break the slipstream as much as he can then, as he is weaving, them, but it's at the moment, and the straight is not long enough. J-Dog is now 5/10 of a second away from Paris, and Paris on the hard tires. So J-Dog, who is unfortunately has forgot himself the session, unfortunately, in the in the Alfa Romeo. Unfortunately, her race there didn't produce the goods that she would have wanted. But oh my goodness me, Picasso's not in the race, unfortunately. But the beauty about Alr says we got another 4 races next week, of course. In the Temple of Speed, the Italian Grand Prix is our next venue we're going to, isn't it? And I think it's not the last European race of the season. I believe it is, isn't it? It is the last European race of the season in Italy. Now then, the rest of them are all flyaways, aren't we? I think the Russia is actually in Europe, isn't it? Or is it? I think they're in the Euros, so yes, it is so it'll be Russia, which will be the last European race, and then we have flyways. We go to Singapore, then we go to Japan, then the land of rising sun, before we go to the land of opportunity in the good old USA, and then we travel down to Central America for the Mexican Grand Prix, and then South America for the Brazilian Grand Prix. That is then our American tour done and dusted, and then we proceed on to Australia, usually the first round of the World Championship this season. Now it is the CGS is off the circuit. His hold of the wing is gone there. Oh, CGS has made a mistake at turn number 14, and he is coming to the pits. And what a shame for CGS that he was on an incredible race as Mercedes sprinted to work, and then changed onto the soft tires a bit earlier than expected. But we know the soft tires could do that length of lap set. My goodness me. And now Paris and J-Dog are still fighting away at the moment, aren't they? I was actually looking at this battle here for them between Smithy Almighty and Silent Shifter. On board Silent Shifter as well. No helmet there for Silent Shifter. Now, absolutely disgraceful behaviour then. So deja vu, I think, from last night as well. And it's we've got another Sir Davis off the track. He's out of the Grand Prix. That's at turn number 14 then. And turn number 14 is getting very slippery there in the final turn. And that's a safety car now. And this is the time, I think, for the drivers to come in the pits and throw on the soft tires until the end of the Grand Prix now then. So I think that some drivers might be. I think that the drivers at the front might be quite happy about this. So it's really going in the way then of Iron Knight and Dukanko and Craig R as well. He's aiming for his second podium of his career as well. So Sir Davis, the latest retirement. Then we've lost Sir Dave, Scooby Stew, Jinner, Baguette, Hammer Time, and Styles as they're all flying into the pits. And Dukanko in the pits and Iron Knight in the pits as well. Craig R has stayed out. Goodness me, this is going against the grain. I didn't expect Craig R to stay out, but he has stayed out. So has Silent Shifting as well. Iron Knight has gone onto the hard tires. Iron Knight's on the hard tires. Oh my goodness me, I thought it was going to be soft here, but Iron Knight has gone hard here. Smith and Mighty has gone the medium tires as well. Paris has stayed out then. Oh my word, then I think the safety car is really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons here, hasn't it? Because I think some drivers have gone soft, some drivers have gone medium, some drivers have gone hard. It's absolute anarchy out there. I love it. J-Dog coming on the pits while Crusher T coming into the pits. They're throwing on a new set of medium tires for the Alpine drivers, throwing on a new nose cone as well. As he just is back into the points as well. Let's see where it can go from here on. Winning up the Courage race as well, J-Dog. Oh my goodness me, as he just about got in front there. That was very tight, wasn't it? But I think Race Control has deemed that J-Dog was just about in front of Starbus. Remember, both those two are second and third in the World Championship with Hammer Time out of the race, and they're not maximising their opportunity at the moment, are they? They would like to be on the podium at the very least, with Hammer Time not scoring tonight, but the Hammer Time's rivals is not maximising the opportunities, and there's going to be someone who is going to stand and reap the rewards of this very crazy Grand Prix. I think this is the fourth safety car now, isn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken. Craig R leads the race then, but he hasn't come into the pits yet. Craig R hasn't. I think that Craig R may have missed a step here potentially then, but we'll soon find out then, because I have been wrong so many times then, and I'll probably be wrong again then. Them hards must be a mistake then. Used mediums would have been better there from Serious Mushroom. I'm quite surprised by the hard tire choice there from Iron Knight. Is that Iron Knight's first pit stop? Did he? I think it is. Did he start on the? He started on the medium tires, so I wonder if... Craig R's now in the pits then, so he must have missed the pit lane, Craig R did. He's got a 5-second penalty. Oh no! And Craig R's incredible race there is being unravelled at the seams here. Lovely shot there. But Craig R is now, he's got a 5-second penalty. He's on the right tyres, I think, then the soft tyres are the right way to go, in my humble opinion. But I think that Craig R's got a 5-second penalty, and he's also coming to the pits a lap later as well. Oh, Mercedes have really made a boo-boo here, haven't they? Unfortunately, Craig R speeding in the pit lane, and then Mercedes not getting him in a lap before. Well, what a shame there for Craig R. And oh my goodness me, it's so difficult in league races there, because you're not only driving the the car, you're not only trying to make sure that the car is in the best way to tackle this race, you've also got to call your strategy as well. It's so difficult, isn't it, in league racing these days? You need a degree just to complete these Grand Prix. Goodness gracious me, then. Safety car is still out then on lap 23 out of 36 then. This is our fourth safety car. We've had so many here tonight, haven't we? Oh my word then. It's a search rush, and even softs would have lasted. Yeah, they would have, I think then. So that is such a shame now for Craig R, and I think that Iron Knight has gone the complete wrong way. I completely agree with Serious Mushroom on this account then. So safety car then is out, and hopefully we'll go green on this lap then, and we'll be back racing in just a different lovely helmets on here, by the way, from Cats. Absolutely fantastic 70 then in a 40 position now. Safety car is in there in this lap then, so the Ford Puma is being driven away then, and Bermolander is now going to hopefully park it for the final time. I'd say we've seen a lot of that beautiful Aston Martin, but tonight I think we've said it too much, haven't we? So Silent Shifter then, he's had a bit of an up and down race here tonight. Now he's now found himself at the front of the field then. He's done 12 laps on the medium tyres, and that should get him to the end, but Dukanko is on fresh softs, and the drivers behind Iron Knight has got fresh hards, and now we're back racing. Oh my word, that Silent Shifter's absolutely left them, haven't they? Goodness gracious me, Silent Shifter is completely gone there, and I think that Dukanko is just worn up his tyres then as well, so I wonder why I thought he was waiting for some other reason there. No, but Dukanko, I think, just trying to warm up those tyres then. Paris is now all over the back of Iron Knight then, as Iron Knight is not set off the quickest way, has he, around here at the moment there, so Iron Knight is just trying to also find some tire temperature in those hard tyres as well for the Haas car. We've got J-Dog, who is on the medium tyres. Lovely over the shoulder shot here from the Haas car as we go out of turn number 3, I think it is. I don't even know, I'm now way beyond the turn 3 area, which we were starting to talk about. Center's in the points as well now. Good 17 there on board ZGS, and ZGS, and just before that safety car period, there was in a very solid 4th position there. Paris is off there. Oh, he's lost all of the wing section. Paris has in the Williams car. Oh my goodness me, and Paris are dropping down the order. Oh no, that is such a shame now. So Smithy is on the 4th position on the medium tires. Can Smithy get a second podium here of his career here tonight? That'll be fantastic stuff indeed there, wouldn't it, for Smithy. J-Dog is back in the 5th position. I'm going to try and race J-Dog is, but he is now once again in the box seat. Has Silent Shifter got the pace there to stay in front of Kanko on 13 lap used tyres. We've got Winnie, who's had issues as well. He spun in turn 13 in the Red Bull. That is such a shame now, because he was on course for some good points as well. Center's all over the back of ZGS, but J-Dog's all over the back of Smithfield Mighty. He's up the inside, he passes Smithfield Mighty. Job's done then. Next target then for J-Dog is his teammate Deja Vu. He's back where he started a couple of laps ago. Oh my goodness me. So back where he started then for J-Dog, so he might be quite happy with that then before a lot, because he was in 4th position before he had that 2 spins out after the second safety car or 3rd safety car, one of those safety cars. I can't remember which one it was. Big Dog could be strong at the end then. I think he is in the box seats, personally. I think he is anyway, because I think that you probably want to be on the medium tyres there from this stage to the end of the Grand Prix. The soft tyres can do the distance there, but whether it's the best way to do it, this race is going to be remains to be seen, of course, whether it's the quickest way to do these last 13 laps or so. We shall wait and see. The gap is now down to less than a second then, and that is what Dukanko needs. Kaz is now just outside the points in an end position. We're just watching Starbus then, who's on hard tyres. Well, he did elect not to come in the pits in that last safety car period then. That's looking good at the moment. Smithfield Mighty is struggling on points at the moment. DRS is struggling on the pace at the moment. Smithfield Mighty. DRS has now been enabled then. 10 laps to go in this race then. Going down to someone no dice moment. What about Craig R? Craig R's had some fantastic pace in here. He was very unlucky there. He should have pitted a lap earlier, shouldn't he? When the safety car was first deployed, and I think, and then unfortunately got a 5-second penalty. It's Kaz there and Win again, very close to each other into turn 1. Now, goodness me, very close indeed then. But I don't think there's any damage done on that occasion. J-Dog is now not too far away then from Iron Knight. His teammates Iron Knight, they're going to just let him by then. I'm not sure if they will then, because both Haas drivers technically are in the fight for promotion, aren't they? So I think it might be quite a good battle then, but I'm not sure if Gunther Steiner might be too impressed with that. Of course, we'll see. But of course, that's me just surmising or just guessing at that, because I could be completely wrong. I normally am. I normally am. Silent Shifting is leading the race, and Center's got past ZGS and moved up into 7th position. ZGS is still on a strong run of form then in 8th position there, so still 4 points are coming his way then for ZGS then. In the last two of the last 3 races, ZGS has scored in 5th position and 3rd position as well. Kaz has got a 3-second penalty. That is, we've only got 2 drivers with penalties at the moment, and very pristine driving out there. Really impressive stuff indeed there. So just watch the Starbus having a look down into turn 1 there. The straight is not long enough for Starbus. I keep saying that a lot here because I don't know, it goes to be a bit of deja vu. Yellow, oh no, Winnie's out! Winnie's out! Oh, it's a huge one! It's a huge one! He is out! It's a safety car again then! Oh my goodness me, and it's the 5th safety car, and once again the last 10 laps we got another safety car here tonight then. So as much as saying Gunther Steiner is saying it's okay to race then, and that is good news for me because I do love a good race or two. Oh my golly gosh, then we're down to 12 cars in the Grand Prix, and my word, it's been quite a crunching day, as for a couple of drivers. So what is Silent Shifting going to do? He has the advantage then. Does he have those tyres? Doesn't he? Because he's got to do another 10 laps, and that'll be 26 laps on the medium tyres. That is going to be an awful long way for the AlphaTauri driver. I think that is too far for the medium tyres personally. I think he might need to come in the pits out. This is a golden opportunity to come in the pits out and throw on a set of soft tyres, and he will be lightning quick towards the end then, Silent Shifting, but he does have to pass a lot of drivers. It does also depend who has to come in the pits. They could Starbus and Senna might come in the pits, so those are the other 2 drivers might come in the pits. Everyone else may stay out. Nope, Silent Shifting has is not, but Dukanko is coming in the pits, so I'm surprised to see Dukanko in the pits. Oh my goodness me. So Dukanko, I'm surprised to see Dukanko in the pits there, and let's see, he's on soft tyres again then, but he is going to have to now go through the field then, and yes, so he's out of the pits then. So that's a strategy call then from the Alfa Romeo team then. So Dukanko in the pits and out of the pits then, and he's the only driver to come in the pits in this last section of the race then. So Silent Shifting has stayed out on the medium tyres then. Iron Knight is on the hard tyres, J-Dog is on the medium tyres, as is Smithfield Mighty. Smithfield Mighty, J-Dog have only done 6 laps on those medium tyres, so they're going to be feeling quite confident. Well, both the Haas drivers are now 2nd and 3rd then, and that is crucial in the Constructors' Championship as well, because Haas are 55 points beyond the AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri drivers are not, one driver is leading the race then, but of course the other driver is out of the race then, so at the moment the Haas team are outscoring the AlphaTauri team at the moment, but only by 8 points at the moment. But of course, if they get a 1-2 or something like that, that could really put the constructors very much on his head here tonight. And so Haas could really doorstep the constructors, partly which AlphaTauri have had one hand on that constructors basically since the get-go in Cobalt, haven't they? They've been impressive right from the season opener in Bahrain. But Haas have all of a sudden really started to get into this. Gordo saying I'd stay out if everyone comes in unless I was Silent Shifting. Yeah, big mistake by Duncan Dave or Dukanko. Yeah, I'm surprised Dukanko came in the pits. So I'm back on board with J-Dog, and J-Dog then at the moment is outscoring Starbus, and he was 2nd in the World Championship with J-Dog in 3rd. Dukanko is 4th in the World Championship, but he is now down in 10th position. He'll have fresh soft tyres. He'll be doing a lot of overtaking from Dukanko, so we've got a couple of drivers that just squabbling over a position there, but we are in the safety car. Into the pits there comes Kaz, and Ferrari mechanics are in, and so Kaz out comes to the pits. He wants some new soft tyres, and the Ferrari mechanics going to work, and there they are, brand spanking new then for Kaz. He is now going to have some quality laps till the end of the race. Safety car should be in the end of this lap, so we'll have 7 laps of Grand Prix race, and 7 more laps of Zandvoort then before we move on to Italy in a week's time, of course. Gold then, of course, is on. Gold is on Sunday, then Monday is silver, Tuesday is bronze, and Wednesday is cobalt, of course. And so as much as Silent Shifting will make it to the end if he can hold on to them. That is a big question mark indeed for Silent Shifting. Can he get a Grand Prix win here for Silent Shifting? I think this is debut in cobalt, isn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken. Just have a look at my old spreadsheet. I think it is Silent Shifting's debut tonight. Then good stuff indeed there for Silent Shifting, and yes, he'll be very happy with this performance at the moment and on its Grand Prix debut, winning in Cobalt. Fantastic stuff indeed there, but he's going to have a lot of work to do with those tyres. Are going to be feeling the pinch in those next 7 laps or so. Iron Knight then, can he get his second Grand Prix win? He's on those hard tyres, and so those tyres should get to the end quite comfortably. Whether they will be the quickest tyres to get to the end, though, remains to be seen then. So Silent Shifter is now going to be the safety car. He did a great job, didn't he, of really releasing the car in the very end then. Fantastic stuff indeed. Gurman then, of course, the admin of Cobalt is just saying to Craig Arden, so he should have served this 5-second penalty then, because that would have been quite. What is going on here then? It's Picasso's car, who's ghosted at the moment there, is just well off the circuit then, so I'm not really sure what Picasso's car is doing. Anyway, here we go then. So now we're back racing the Silent Shifter. Oh, Silent Shifter's lost to the champion of race leader. Has lost it. Oh, and by Smithy Almighty had to afford it, and he's out of the race there. And Silent Shifter there was in the Grand Prix, and he has lost it out at the final turn there. And we've also got Crusher T loose there as well here, and Silent Shift in there leading this race there. And I think that Smithy Almighty was just reacting to the spinner in front of him, and that is a major blow indeed. And Silent Shift there is going to be furious with himself. Seriously, those tyres were 20 laps out then for Silent Shift. Then was it a couple of laps too far then perhaps? Iron Knight leads then with J-Dog now up in the second position, going for his third Grand Prix win of his career for J-Dog here tonight, his third Grand Prix win of the season as well. Iron Knight going for his second Grand Prix win. This team Haas in Cobalt is absolutely sensational, isn't it? Oh my goodness me. Starburst is now in the fifth front position there. Centre fourth. ZGS is fifth. Craig R in sixth position. Does have a 5-second penalty now. And also Kaz has a 3-second penalty as well. As Gurman's gone, damn. It definitely was a damn moment there, wasn't it? My word, and a humongous smash there. And unfortunately, Crusher T then is also dropped out of the points as well. Both Alpha Taris are not scoring. And Haas are getting full shebang of points then, which means that they will be 12 points behind the Alpha Tauri in the Constructors' Championship. Give or take a couple of points, of course. You know, my master's appalling. Lap 31 out of 35. 36. I can't even count the laps around here. Dukanko is at the fast lap race in 10th position. And now Dukanko will be flying through the field on those fresh, soft tyres. And how far can he get with 5 laps to go in this race? Dukanko's overtaking Prix there is going to be very much under the microscope now, isn't he? And he's very close to the back of Craig, but can't get past just yet. Gap in the front is 4/10 seconds. Starburst wants to break up that Haas party, doesn't he? Starburst wants to also home in on Hammer Time, who's made a humongous error tonight. That's the first time that Hammer Time has not seen the checkered flag in the Cobalt this season, has he? Well, tonight he's crashed, and this is his first DNF of the season. This is the second time in the race he's participated, and he hasn't scored. The other one was Austria. So Hammer Time then has got a couple of chinks. Is now starting to form in his armour at the moment then. For the championship leader, J-Dog then is going from attack to defence now. So it looks like the hard shot tires of Starburst and Iron Knight are really starting to go. Oh, he said, who's that? That's Craig R, who's off in the gravel there. And Paris there is going to go up and under from Craig R. What a shame for Craig R. For most of this race, he was on the podium places there. And now here comes Starburst then. No DRS now. He'll be enabled at the end of this lap then. And he's having a look there. Not quite, but he'll have the DRS aid for him next time around. Then that may help him get past and up in the second position for Starburst here in the final stage. That Knights and Dogs don't do it. And I have no idea what happened there. Just went absolutely good there from Swift Almighty. Unfortunately, because Silent Shifting went down and Swift Almighty, I think just reacted, didn't he? I reacted on his instincts there, trying to avoid a Silent Shifting to stranded car at the outside of turn 14. Iron Knight is 6/10 of a second away because his teammate in Starburst is now really fighting hammer and tongs here for second position there. Let's update you on the championship, shall we? Then, of course, then it's Silent Shifter instead of the fast lap race, and so there is 1 point for the Alpha Tauri outfit, and that may be a consolation point. Then Silent Shifting, well, if he can catch and pass Picasso, who's not in the race, then he will get a point. So Picasso's race is he's got 20 laps, he's got 4 laps then, and 20 seconds there to home down that car then. Where is Dukanko here? Also, he's 2 seconds away from ZGS at the moment. He's lost a lot of time. Dukanko then passing the Mercedes of Craig R across the line then. DRS then for the front three now then. And look at this, it's J-Dog's on the outside. He's on the outside. He takes out Iron Knight then. I think, oh no, the Haas car then. And the spin, and Jen Starburst there Senna's off the circle as well. Senna's up in the second position. Oh my word there. Did the two Haas drivers touch that? It was a pinch point there. And potentially, oh my goodness me, as a Starburst is down in 7th position now, he's dropped all the way down the order. ZGS is now finishing in 4th position. Fantastic. Senna then, who was quick in the Belgian Grand Prix last week, was he very unlucky, is now all of a sudden then back in 2nd position. He was unlucky with the safety car last week, wasn't he? Now is he? Oh my goodness me, he's so much more brave on the brakes as Iron Knight got damaged in the Haas car. Let's take a look at the other side then. It doesn't look like his J-Dog got damaged. It doesn't look like either Ben, but even the size of damage on these front wings in 2021 on the F1 2021 game really does hurt you, doesn't it? Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh my word then. And as just coming out the I'll turn at 12 as well. My word then, fantastic. Something. Senna is in the DRS range as well now then. And Senna then is on coming on the bank turn then as Iron Knight then. I was going to say Ayrton then. My word then. Yellow flag then as solid shifted is off. He's off Ben. And Senna takes the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix. And that has come out now. The clash between the Haas drivers may have cost them a fight in the constructors here tonight. And then may have cost J-Dog and the Starbust and Iron Knight dearly in the Drivers' Championship as well. Senna's had a bit of a poor run then. Yellow flag in the background there because Starbust has dropped back. Starbust is in a major peril in the second Aston Martin there. Once again, the championship protagonists there are dropping at the wayside here. Oh my word then. On board now with Iron Knight and Senna leads the Grand Prix and only a second Grand Prix start. Senna is leading this race then with Knight in second, J-Dog in third position. Now we've got ZGS, Dukanko, who's got young soft tyres now. Has he got a chance to win the Grand Prix with just 3 laps to go then? He might be able to go on the podium. I think the Grand Prix winner's a stretch then, but he has J-Dog, he has ZGS in front of him there. Silent Shifting is coming to the pits then. He's got a 5-second penalty. It's gone all wrong then for the Grand Prix leader earlier on in this. So on the safety car coming in then. Oh my word then. Oh, and look at this, and Dukanko, who is now under the rear wing then of ZGS. And remember, Dukanko is only a few points behind J-Dog as well, but he needs to get by J-Dog, doesn't he? He needs to get by J-Dog. He's having a look then, but not quite then, as he was too far back. Silent Shifting there, who's just merging back onto the circuit as well, but Silent Shifting will not get any points today. Can crush their T with 11 laps to go then. Get some points in there. So the yellow flag is just for, my goodness me, the race at the front is over yet. The yellow flag, oh no! Dukanko is off the circle as well. Goodness me, what is going on in this race? Dukanko's now dropped it as well. Oh my gosh, you can't ride this race tonight. My word there. And Starburst there, I thought it was going straight on. What an action-packed Grand Prix this. Oh, Starburst, oh gosh, he's back up to 7th position now. My word there. Oh, you can't ride this one, can you? I think that Iron Knight the tyres may be coming back to Iron Knight now because Senna cannot pull away here, but he's got 2 more laps then to repel the attack of Iron Knight. Dukanko's dropping down the order. Dukanko may not get a point here at the moment, and this is going to be quite close for Dukanko, who is 4th in the World Championship. Out of the final turn 14 as well. Whereas, oh my gosh, I've just dribbled everywhere. Senna's going to be feeling it. He's going to be feeling the breath of Iron Knight in the Haas car as well. Look, he's trying to break the slipstream to go down into turn 1 then. As Paris has passed ZGS and Paris is up in the 12th position now. Senna's got 1 more lap. Iron Knight has had a great run out of turn 1 then going into turn 3. And he's still, he's had a look then. And no, not quite then into turn 3 as well. Accelerating away. And he may have a chance down the back straight, but he's going for it to second one in the twisted part. And Senna there's trying to repel the attack from Iron Knight. But no dice then. Senna just about keeps him at arm's length here. There's 1 more chance for Iron Knight. That's down the back straight. That's in turn 10 into turn 11 then for the Haas driver. He needs to keep it neat and tidy. He needs to keep it neat and tidy through here if he wants a chance. But Senna is looking very strong on traction in that Ferrari. What about the down here then? And for him, that's not what he wanted. Iron Knight got a bit too greedy on the power there, and I think that might be done and dusted then. And Senna, who is that is the other major pitfall for Senna then to potentially lose his Grand Prix lead. However, he has done it, and it's Senna in the Ferrari in his second Grand Prix start in Cobalt, comes around the final turn then, and Senna for Ferrari wins the Dutch Grand Prix in his second Grand Prix. What an incredible Grand Prix, what an incredible final few laps there. Oh my word, they're fantastic there from Senna. The Haas team then are going to be kicking themselves as they both collided into turn one. I think that it was very close and they compromised each other. And J-Dog who gets third in the end then. Paris in fourth with a ZGS in fifth. Craig R in sixth position today. Both Mercedes on a strong performance. Starbus only seventh then with Cass eighth. Ducanco in ninth position there. Can Crusher T get this final point then of the Grand Prix? I think he's going to be a lap or two shy, isn't it? But he might get the point actually. It does depend on what the admin thinks about it. But Picasso's not in the race then, so he's not going to get the point unfortunately. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you all did at home as well. Fantastic stuff. Serious much saying. What a race. Well done, Senna. And the Haas boys as well. They got second and third in the end. ZGS driver of the day. Absolutely. I'm not going to argue with that. That was brilliant stuff indeed then. Liam said, I just heard Gunter smash a door. I think that, I'm going to be honest, I don't think there's going to be a door left, is there, on Gunter's wall, unfortunately. It's serious much saying a Haas on Haas crime. So he said, so not very happy about that, is he, Serious Mushroom now? It might be the general manager of the Haas team in ALR, potentially. But either way, unfortunately, I think the Haas, it could have had a 1-2 tonight. It got second and third today, which is not too bad at all. That would have been the first 1-2 of the season, I think, then 14. Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, from the Dutch Grand Prix, the fourth and final race of ALR here this week. Really enjoyed ourselves. I hope you all enjoyed it at home as well. It's been a cracker, to say the very least. Senna on his second start here in ALR Cobalt takes the Grand Prix win. He was unlucky in Belgium, but today, I think that he got that luck in return, didn't he? He won the race. Had Iron Knight in second day, 6 tenths of second away. Iron Knight was so close for a second Grand Prix win of his career. J-Dog in third. And we would like to ask J-Dog about that final skirmish between himself and Iron Knight. It was a cracking battle, wasn't it? Paris in fourth position. ZGS from 20th to 5th. I forgot ZGS started 20th. Fantastic. Craig R in 6th day. He could have got a podium, couldn't he, really? But unfortunately, mistake under the safety car. Pitting a lap too late, and that 5-second penalty may have cost him that. Starbus in 7th, and Cass in 8th. 9th is Ducanco. And Crusher T did get that final point in 10 minutes as well. Hats off then to Crusher T. Picasso retired from the race. Silent shifted, got the fast lap as well. So a point then for the Alpha Tower, but a miserable day. Other times then with Spiffy Almighty, Winnie, Sir Dave, Scooby Stew, Jinner, Baguette, Hammer Time, and Stalls all retired them from the Dutch Grand Prix. And I think I got J-Dog in the old commentary box with me now. Let me just make sure I got all my bits working. I have indeed. J-Dog, my goodness me. Wow, what an incredible race that was there. You started 7th on the grid there. You had a couple of chances to win this one. But it just seems to be, it didn't be your day today.
Yeah, it was a crazy race. It was I spun 3 times. I mean, there was an incident at the end there. I don't really know what happened, but what did you see?
To be honest, I'm not sure if both of you, I'm not sure if you two came together. Really, it looked like it was getting very pinchy down into turn 1, and then I'm not sure if Iron Knight oversteered or understeered. But yeah, luckily I'm not a steward though, so I'm not going to call it. But let's go back to because you had a couple of spins on that final turn there. Was it just the tires just not warming up?
The one of them was I deployed ERS really early to get a good drive. I didn't have much straight line speed, so I needed it. And yeah, it was just cold tires, I guess, and it just took me.
And just without those spins, do you think you could have won today? Even though we did have so many safety cars, I think we had 5 in the end there, which kept bunching up then. But without those spins, do you think you could have won this race?
It's the same for everyone though, isn't it? If the guys in front, Hammer Time, if he wouldn't have spun, it's one of them sort of ifs and buts. But I was there and thereabouts, so I'm happy.
And of course, towards the end, then you wasn't 200% sure what happened between yourself and Iron Knight. But because also with Starbus hunting you down as well, was there going to be any team play between yourself and Iron Knight then, or was you always going to go for the win? Because you are third in the World Championship. It's very difficult to orchestrate anything when you're so high up in the standings.
Yeah, let's say it was team play, and I let him win.
Good answer indeed. And I must say, you've been an absolute revelation this season. You've had two Grand Prix wins, and you've had another podium to your repertoire as well. So I think this is your third podium now. This is the first podium where you actually won a race there. But still a third position today, and you've elevated yourself up. Now you're very close behind Starburst and of course Hammer Time as well. Had a miserable day today. Do you think that what are you aiming for? You still aiming for the World Championship, or are you aiming for promotion?
No, just a couple more chats with you, Sean. It's great to be in here having a little chat. No, it's nice to be on the podium. It's nice to be on the podium. That's where I'm aiming for. I love racing. It's nice to get a good result when you race. So, yeah, it's brilliant.
Cracking stuff indeed. Well done, J Dot, today. An absolutely superlative performance there. Even with those spins, you still got third. Fantastic. And that is going to be it then for us tonight in ALR and in Zandvoort as well. 4 fantastic days of racing. We're back in the Temple of Speed next week, where it's home for the Ferrari team as well. And unfortunately, Ferrari do need to really pull up their socks in the joint constructors there, as they're languishing down in 6th last time I looked then. So Ferrari then have really need a strong home result then to get themselves back in it then, as AlphaTauri are really pull away. And also remember, in gold as well, it's finally poised, isn't it, in the World Championship. Silver, young Tommy there may have a new rival on his hands as well, with the storming new Mercedes driver. But join us next Sunday, I think it is, then at 7:30. I'll see you there. Goodbye.